Well, a very warm welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and good evening to you all. Something a little bit different to get you in the mood for a little bit of festive cheer. It's David Christie and Chris Buxton here with you, and this is a very, very new, strange circuit, isn't it, for us, Chris? Because this is Watkins Glen in the United States of America. We head there for F1's return there for the first time in around about, 30 years?
Something in that region, yes. Believe it or not, Formula One did used to grace this very circuit back in the 70s, 80s, and what have you. Warm welcome's absolutely right, because not only have we got a brand new car released at iRacing only a few weeks ago that not everybody will be fully up to speed with, but it is hot. It's very hot out there. 47 degrees. That's track temperature as well. So, the race originally penned for 60 laps, but has been pulled down a little bit due to concerns around the fuel limit of these cars, as there's no refueling in this event. So 30 minutes qualifying, followed by a 55-lap race. Watkins Glen, if nothing else, it was very challenging, but it's not exactly flat. The undulation change is massive, and it's very bumpy. This is going to be I've been looking forward to this for a while. This is going to be fantastic. It's going to be fantastic for us. It's going to be hellishly hard for our drivers.
It's going to be absolutely epic, and I'm one of those few that have had a little bit of experience of this brand new Mercedes F1 car, the W12, that came to the iRacing service, and Coach David Academy is in for an absolute treat tonight. It's such a monster of a car. Playing it in words is almost impossible. It's difficult to do this car justice. The mechanical grip, the aero grip that you get on this car is frightening. The fact that you can take corners that you think, I think to all that time that I've done, say at Knock Hill or at the Nordschleife in this thing, and it is frightening the speed that you can carry into corners and the confidence that it gives you. And it's like a Marine, it's like an SAS soldier. It just looks at you at every single corner and goes, is that all you've got? Give me more at every turn. It is an absolute animal, Chris.
That's the thing with this car, isn't it? Is that the car has got far more grip than you've got belief in it for a while. You just keep pushing and pushing, but when it lets go, it's not forgiving at all. As we are watching Simon De Mori screaming his way very, very close to that outer limb. Now, currently a north wind, which is pushing the cars along that back straight, but as you just saw there, doesn't like that change of direction into a headwind. It causes the cars to understeer, which is exactly what I thought he wouldn't do. So bravo to Michael Hamlet, our camera operator, who said that's exactly what it would do. I'll sit down and never comment on that sort of thing again. But you can see, Simon's he's going really very, very wide. We saw that just coming out the heel, now coming through the last few turns, and the car it's got a lot of grip, but when that understeer kicks in, it's very unforgiving. We're seeing brilliant times, 1:15s or so on the board. This is a lovely onboard shot on top of the halo. Well, it's actually on top of the airbox. As we're screaming up the hill now. Oh God, this is brilliant stuff. I love this camera view. We'll get a lot more of this.
Oh yeah. What I'm going to draw your attention to is this chicane, the inner loop coming up. So this is just a warm-up lap. You can see them moving to the right-hand side to let any cars pass that need to, but completely flat chat through the inner loop here, and then pulling round the right-hander. Now this isn't fully up to speed here. You could see that car was just winding things round here, and again just pulling off the track. But a lot of this track, Chris, believe it or not, is going to be absolutely flat out. It is frightening as we come out through the inner loop here. So here we go then. This bit here, this is still flat. This is on the way down to the chute then, that long sweeping left-hander here. And you can see, again, back onto the power now. It's a little bit onto the brakes then as you come up the hill at toe, that big long right-hander. But again, seeking to get onto the accelerator as long or as early as you possibly can on the run down the boot towards the heel here at Watkins Glen. And again, it's going to be a little dab of the brakes, and they've pulled out of this lap here, and got no doubt that this is to get themselves going up for another fast lap here. But it is just absolutely sensational. If we can get a car on a proper flying lap, you will be just bedazzled by how fast and how much confidence this car actually gives you. And look at the times already here, Chris. 1:15.1 for Cody Pride already. I can't even believe that.
Quite a few Mercedes fans out there, it would seem. Not surprising. A few people have gone for the Mercedes livery on that. And look at this. Absolutely, exactly as you say, screaming towards the heel. But that you raise an interesting point, because the braking zones in these cars are not colossal. I mean, the braking efficiency on these is like hitting an absolute wall. But because they're not on the brakes for a huge amount of time, you're not seeing kind of 200, 300 kilometers an hour down to 50 kilometers an hour kind of braking zones. They're actually energy harvesting, energy management is actually going to be something that the drivers have to contend with. So they have got to be careful about, steady, that is actually illegal. You can use that much of the rumble strip. You don't want to because there's a horrible bump out there. But these guys will have to deal with that because there's not too many very big, heavy braking zones. There's not all that many braking zones at all. In this particular lap for these cars. There you go, full chat, as you say, through the inner loop, which to me is absolutely mind-blowing that they can actually do that at absolutely full crank. I've only ever driven GT-based cars through there, in virtual terms. I've never actually been out there at all, but there's no way you can take that full crank in anything other than something with insane amounts of downforce. This rise here coming through the boot, you really don't appreciate just how steep that is. It must feel like an absolute ski jump to these cars as they're coming through it. Now coming through the penultimate, one of the last turns. I think it's only 11 turns or something like that. The turn numbering gets a bit odd in this circuit. It's quite an old-fashioned American circuit where the color numbering gets a bit strange. Screaming over the line. What time do we get on the board for Demori? That is... Yeah, that's just an improvement. Oh, look at that. Several different cars on... And look at that, we're seeing several people trying the hards, the mediums, and the softs. So there's tyre compound differences there. That's not how you do it. That's not a great way of taking that. That's I'm not surprised that I think it's Giusa. I'm not sure how you pronounce the name exactly.
Yeah, Danny Giusa, that is there.
Yeah, so went too wide, pushing too hard. That's exactly what I was saying. When the car lets go, it's very unforgiving. And that's exactly what happened there on the outer loop for Giusa. So now looking at James Horn in the black and purple car. He's working his way through the heel. You can see the yellow sectors lighting up there, so he's done better out there already. He's on the softer compound. Oh, wow. Talk about letting go in a very drastic way. There's the damage model for iRacing kicking in all its glory. And yeah, that would have been a big repair bill.
Where's the yellow flag? that was a hefty shot. Just going on to tyre compounds from memory, if I remember rightly, from the brief time that I've spent with it. The white wall tyres are the hard tyres, the yellow wall tyres are the mediums, and the red walled tyres are the soft compounds. And as we said, Chris, remember the qualifying tyres, the ones that you finish qualifying on, are the ones that you start the race with. I've got to be honest, I don't fancy taking a pair of softs round here for 55 laps. So yeah, I personally, I'd be going for the hard tyres and just trying to manage them through the race.
Yeah, you're mad if you think that softs are going to get anywhere near the end of the race. Yeah, sure, they'll give you great grip. Oh, wow, that's again, you have to help me with the pronunciation of this one. Is it Mihalanch? Is that how you say it?
Mihalashi.
Mihalashi, yeah. I was
See, the trick is, Chris, is just say whatever you think, but just say with confidence and just believe that whatever you're saying is everybody else is wrong.
That is the word of an experienced man. So yeah, Dan Mihalashi just coming through there. You saw how the car just really wanted to give up. But yeah, those soft tyres in this heat and a track like this, because the cornering speeds are kind of medium speed corners for these cars. Forget it. Those soft tyres are going to be absolutely paper within a very short period of time. If anybody runs them, I'll be very runs them for any length of time. I'll be very surprised. Even my dog agrees, as you probably just heard.
Dog's obviously a bit of a Mercedes fan here as we head into to 10 minutes of qualifying here, but Cody Pride still leading the field then, 1:15.184 with Gregor Schill. And you know, it is such an interesting track here at Watkins Glen. So much opportunity for getting that slipstream, so much opportunity for getting the toe of the car in front. And, you know, you've got your ERS, you've got your DRS, and you've got possibly a slight tailwind on some of the straights as well. So an opportunity if some of these drivers want to muck about with a little bit of the gearing, maybe try and put a longer top gear and push that car a little bit further, because there's some very, very long straights here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the setup is going to be absolutely crucial to, you know, not only get a balanced car, but to one that's going to handle these corners as best as possible. You know, that was a great camera shot. Oh, lovely on the suspension camera shot there. You get an idea of just the undulation of this particular track. I guess Himalashi just pulls over there, getting out of the way of someone that flew through. But yeah, and look how close those times are. Now, yes, in a short lap, the lap times are going to be very close. But I'm always stunned that drivers can get that close, you know, within a tenth of a second to anybody else around them. It should provide for some amazing racing if the gaps stay that close.
And that is exactly the point. Coming up to halfway in the qualifying session, I am loving the fact that despite this car only being out for, 2 weeks now, we've already got almost 10 cars in this race within a second of each other. That is blindingly quick. So great to see that. Also, we've got David Perel will be joining us at some point tonight. We've got Alaric Enslin is joining us, so they'll be in some point during the qualifying session. Of course, with a 30-minute session, a lot of the drivers can just chill, they can enjoy some of the cars going round, get a look at where the fast line is, Chris, with no real hurry to get out on track.
Indeed. Plenty of time to get those laps out there. There we go on the right suspension now. We just come out and look at the ascent that these guys have to go through. The run through the boot is not very long in these cars. Well, nothing is very long in these cars. Just the raw, unbridled pace that these cars have is just absolutely mind-blowing. Oh, the tail got loose there. Now that particular corner there is on a bit of a crest, so that's what we saw. It was Mihalashi that caused that spin, and there again. So the tail just letting go at the worst possible moment. It's again that last corner. It was a stunning catcher to keep it out of the wall, but there's a big face full of smoke for Danny Giusa coming over the line, a very Haas-orientated livery there, or almost. But yeah, just when it lets go, you've got almost no chance of catching it and preventing the spin. The best you can do is keep it out of the wall. But this track is, like I say, very, very bumpy and very unforgiving in these cars. So yeah, we're likely to see quite a few reshaped cars before the end of the night.
Yeah, well, I was joking actually with Michael Hamlet as we see Danny Giusa going through the inner loop and getting it all sorts of wrong there. We're either going to be in for an incredible spectacle of a race, or we're waiting to see the shortest race in history. We're going to get one of those two things, and it could be a very quick race to pit lane if that is the case. And I've got to be honest, with it coming up to Christmas and this being a fun race for Coach Dave Academy as well, obviously you can bet your bottom dollars that setups, if they're not already available, they'll be working on them very, very quickly indeed. You can bet your bottom dollar that it is going to be an amazingly close race tonight. Tactics, I think, are going to be absolutely everything.
Oh, Dave Perel, they got all kinds of squiggly getting into the inner loop, but he managed to catch it before throwing it into the wall. Yet to see a time on the board for two of our drivers. David Perel is one of them. Alaric Enslin is the other. They're yet to get a time on the board. I think we're a little bit later joining the session. We're just approaching halfway. But yeah, coming back to what you're saying, David, absolutely, really close. I mean, look at the time. 7,000. Look at the deltas, I should say. 7,000, 9 tenths, 3,000. 9 tenths again, 6 tenths. Absolutely incredible And that's just the top half of those that have set a time at the moment. The only one that's yet to set a competitive lap is David Carapetian. I'll get that one right. Let's see what David Pereira gets on the board, assuming it's a valid lap. And there it is. So he's managed to get a 1:15.8 on the board at the moment, slots him into 10th position. So yeah, it's going to be difficult to tell who's who with all the Mercedes liveries going on, but that's a good problem to have, quite frankly.
That's not a bad banker lap, is it? If that's David Perel's first lap on the board, I mean, you wouldn't be too unhappy with having that.
With hard tyres as well.
Exactly. That is, I'm quite happy with that. Just got to see now, great to see David Carapetian up into, 12th place now. But he's drastically improved. That was a 1:18 that he had. He's brought that down to a 1:16.41. So great improvement for David as well. And I've got no doubt that he'll bring that even closer as well. James Horn does a 1:16.11 last time round. Wow. Jose Javier Buzan does a 1:15.19 and 7/1000ths of a second off of your pole lap there. That is crazy.
I'm loving this classic McLaren livery as well on Philippe Koongen's car. Is there an improvement on the board? I think he backed off out of that one, so no improvement this time, but he'll really want to be pushing. He's got the softer tyres on. Now, you know, in traditional Formula One terms, you tend to see anywhere from kind of 0.3 to half a second difference per compound, depending on where you are. Now, the lap is very short, so you're not going to see 0.8 a second per lap in the tyre compound alone. But he's really absolutely going for this. As Buxton, you just mentioned, you can see the purple sector as part of the sector. As there's 6 divisions in the county. You can see at the bottom. Oh, and that's traffic for Koongen. What does he do here? Is he going to try and fly past, or is he going to try and hustle them out of the way? He picked up a bit of slipstream. Now, this is something we were talking about just before we came on air. Is anyone going to try and pick up a slipstream? Certainly the back straight is long enough to get an advantage of that. And there's a purple sector, so halfway through sector. And that's the next sector as well, purple. The soft tyre certainly giving Koongen the advantage, but he's going to be on a bit of a disadvantage when he gets to the start line. Is that pole for Koongen? It is indeed pole for Koongen. Again, a fair amount of that is going to be down to the tyre, but 14.7 on the board, nearly half a second ahead of anybody around. And look at that, Buxton, and a new lap from Gregor Schill. To the thousandths of a second they've matched each other.
Wow, that is mighty, mighty close. But there we go. Absolutely sets it out of the water there. And we've been waiting to see somebody light it up on the soft tyres. But do you take that? Do you bite that bullet? Do you want to go for those soft tyres here? And we'll see how that goes. I'm obviously hearing that we're high likelihood of chaos and carnage going off here, but I'll have this is a professionally run sim racing event here for Coach Dave Academy. We're going to have nothing but the highest order of skill and everything on show tonight. I think it's going to be nuts, is it? How did they save that there? Was that David Perel again? Just hanging it around the tail end there. That was mental.
That tail was wagging like an excited dog there. That was an amazing run. Cody Pride has come out on the soft tyres. They're going to give them a run. What can Perel do? That's up to second on the medium tyres. 1:15.18. 4,000s ahead of Cody Pride's early lap time on the medium tyres. Now, Koongen was a good 4/10 quicker on the softs, so that could just be tyre difference. I don't know. I'm not convinced those soft tyres are going to be of a lot of use. Yeah, sure, they're going to be absolutely blinding. If people are banking on safety cars, then it would be worth to do. But very few people are setting any times on the. Oh, that's someone banzaiing over the inner loop. That's a bit of slipstream administration going on there as Shell gets very wiggly coming through the outer loop there. God blimey, that looked an absolute handful Alaric Enslin has got a time on the board, or is in the process of setting a time. So that'll be our last car in the field. 13 cars joining us for this event. So we'll see where he slots in. So Gregor Schill, not on a particularly fast lap, but he is on the harder tyres. So this is probably more a kind of race simulation, maybe a bit heavier on fuel. We don't know. Oh, lovely shot there. So this is from David Perel's viewpoint. And a happy, smiley David Perel as well. Probably enjoying his time in the car as well. He's managing to turn the car without any steering input. That's quite impressive. So he's using the force to steer the car. That's a good effort there. Fair play. But yeah, we saw Perel, didn't we, have that massive save. So that'll certainly have woken him up.
Yeah, absolutely will. And David looking very, very happy with his lap there. I think he's obviously explaining what he got up to on that lap, unless he is actually driving and just decide to take his hands off the wheel every now and again. It's
he's talking to us. That's nice of him.
He's talking away, but it's the hand gestures as well that's kind of confusing me. I'm not sure what's the deal here, but anyway, on back to his stream. Second to last corner now, comes out the final corner, then goes across the line to start his next lap. And the key thing as well is, for me, is going to have to be that ERS deployment. Now, if you look at the centre of his screen there on his steering wheel, as I get really, really wound up, I don't know why this is a pet bugbear of mine, but I when you're watching other people in the sim and their steering wheel is set to not move, I don't know why that winds me up, but it just does. Anyways, centre of the steering wheel, just below the 8, you see the number 2 and qual. That means his ERS deployment, his energy recovery system, is set to qualify. Now there's 4 modes on that. You've also got no front wing on that car.
Yes, we were talking about reshaping cars, weren't we?
That's that's a bold aerodynamic move there, and yeah. So he's set that to no deploy now. There's 4 modes, as I said. There's no deploy, there is qualifying, there is attack, and there is balanced. And what you'll find is that, again, when I tried it, it might have been patched and changed, but certainly you were only able to do 4 changes between the different modes before it would completely lock up and you couldn't change it anymore. So if that is still the case, then just bear that in mind. They can't go changing it all the time. But what's more important is on their outlap, they either have it set to no delay, or if they've got it set to attack, that they don't go over 70% throttle, because that's when the ERS would kick in, and you don't want to drain any of the battery during your warm-up lap, because you only get a set amount of time per lap that you're allowed to use that ERS, and it's automatically applied, Chris, so there's no button to put that ERS in. It just intelligently detects when to put that on, and absolutely on edge right now. Alaric Enslin is just on it. That car, this is more like it. This is exactly what we've been threatening all the way through this broadcast. This car is being dragged around this track by the scruff of the neck, and the car looks at you and says, is that all you've got? Every single time, because you're left thinking, I could have easily got an extra 0.3 of a second out of that one section, out of that one corner, if I'd had the fortitude to brake a bit later, to have a little bit more faith in the car. But on the brakes, says left-hander here, and it's on the accelerator here. Great wide line out for Alaric Enslin here, pulls the car into the left. This is flat, completely flat over that left-hander, then a little lift, bring the car in, back on the accelerator under the bridge to go across the line. What can Alaric Enslin do? He improves, but not by that much. 118.58.
I thought that actually looked a fairly solid lap there, but he's a couple of seconds off the tail end of the field at the moment. There's Danny Giusa, currently in 9th position on the medium tyres. You can see the yellow marking on the sidewall. A few people catching that last apex, probably a little harder than they'd like to. It's sort of unsettling the cars that are coming through that last section. It's now really cracking on. 9/10 off the top spot at the moment. We've got another runner looking at the softs. That is James Horn, currently in 11th position. It's got a second to find. I don't think you'll find all of that in just tyres alone. But even still, trying to crack on, see what he can do, as we are now looking at Benedict Hitz, also in that almost Haas-esque livery, the white with red flashes on him, just coming through down towards the penultimate turn. Is he on a bit of a push? That we didn't really see what led up to this point. About 6.5 tenths off the top spot. What can he get on the board this time? That is when the timing board updates. That is 6th position, a 15.27 for Benedict. What about Cody Pride? We just saw him coming over the line there on the softer tyres. 136, so that's not anything he's going to be worrying about too much. Simon Demori, one of the early pace setters in that lovely sky blue car, or sky blue flashed car, I should say, over the line. Then half a second to find. Danny Giusa's just jumped up into 6th with a 15.24. No improvement for Simon Demori. Just a 10th of his previous best there. So people really now in the last 5 minutes, this is what I refer to as the banzai phase of qualifying. The last few minutes of qualifying is when people are now really pushing hard, but still not many soft runners. So I think people are thinking more about oh dear, that went horribly wrong for these two. So that was miss who they both were, but it didn't look like there was an impact of that. No, dear, that's Kungen that's gone too deep through the inner loop, trying to find where the limits of adhesion are. So this is what it was again. Let's have a look at this again. Boing. Oh, wow. It was miles away. So a bit of a netcode issue there. I mean, there was quite a bit of space left there, in fairness. But goodness me, that's the nature of sim racing, unfortunately, is it's not a perfect beast. Wow. So I think people are kind of not thinking these soft tyres are going to last. I'm not convinced they'd last too long. Whoops! That's not how you do that either, Mr. Kungen. Again, finding the limits of adhesion there. I think most people are going to go for the mediums at best in qualifying. But, of course, Kungen's already done that qualifying time on the softs. He's going to have to start on them whether he likes it or not, unless somebody gets the lap of the gods and manages to find 4/10 on harder tyres.
Well, talking of which, David Perel up into 2nd place there with that 1:15.18, just 4/1000ths of a second ahead of Cody Pride there. That is a banging lap there, and I love the fact that Paul Timmer said that David's obviously using that Coach Dave Academy setup. Well, I never said that, but and that's on medium tyres that he's on just now as well. So again, the thing to remember is that the tyres you see to the right are the tyres that are on the car just now, not necessarily the tyres that set that lap time that got them up there. So again, I'd imagine it's the tyres that they finish qualifying on that they start their race with.
Indeed. I'll have to see how that gets on. Was that a new time from Benedict? No, I think that's where he previously was. We look at Cody Pride, and he has gone for another soft run. Green in, so coming up to the middle part of the lap then, so he is finding time out there. Yellow. I mean, the thing with those markers is that you might find an amount of time to make it go green, but you could lose like a fraction of that and it will appear yellow. So we don't know what the how good or how bad these times actually are. As Yusa has jumped up to 2nd position with a 15.04 on those medium tyres. Well. As Pride is not going to find any time on that one. Through, that's Benedict Hicks then just pushed down to 7th position, pressing on. Medium tyres on his car through the toe. What can he find? Can he find any time this time? Now, there you go. There you can see, you have an idea of how fast these cars are. He's over the crest, into the heel. Pressing on. He's not too deep into that last section. We've seen a few cars go, exploring that runoff area there. Keeps away from the wall. He may not be pressing too hard on this particular lap. May well just be winding up for another run. Like you said earlier, David, he may not be pushing too hard just to save the amount of ERS and just kisses the wall on the exit of the final turn. Did he set a time there? Not still. Well, if he did, it wasn't an improvement. So I think this is his push lap then. He's running the clock down. He's going to be pushing on as best he can. As we can see the splits at the bottom, that is the difference between Benedict Hicks and Simon Demori. Demori's backed out of that one, so he'll be finding no more time on that run. What can Benedict Hitz do? Oh, that's a big jump over. Oh dear, that's someone facing the wrong way. That's not going to work well. There's Hitz then getting around one of the Mercedes flavoured cars. They can do no more, whichever one that was. So quite a few people on an out lap. The checker flag is about to drop. So if they're not on a hot lap, they won't be able to start one in 10 seconds time. But if they're on one, they can finish it. Usual iRacing rules there. Can Benedict Hitz find the time he needs through the heel? Oh, yep, there you go. There's that exploratory line on that runoff area. As long as they stay off the grass, it should be all fine. What's going to happen here? On board then with Benedict Hitz. That lovely camera there, as you just see the apex, and then he almost kisses the wall. What can he get on the board? It is. Wait for the timing to update. I bet you he invalidated that, as we saw him take quite a liberty with one of the apexes on the inner lip. I bet that's where that one went wrong.
Well, there we go. So qualifying looks like it's running down to its natural conclusion here. We can see this is Cody Pride making his way around the tail end of the lap. Again, very, very wide. The thing is that track limits allow you to go out very, very wide on that corner there. That sweep back up the hill, a little bit of a jiggle as the car struggles to get back onto the power coming out of the heel there. Gets going though through the final couple of corners then, and it's going to be Cody Pride across the line, and again not looking like it's any of an improvement there. 117.3 for Cody Pride, and oh my god, ooh. Philip Koongen is no more. Philip Koongen has just straight up sent himself off to the shadow realm. It's F's in chat folk for that one, please, because that is your pole sitter has just vanished from existence off of that one. This is the thing I love about iRacing, is the fact that, you know, we see all of this this chaos, and thankfully it's a bit of a fun race tonight here.
Yeah, absolutely. There's nothing to lose by putting it all on the line, and that's what we want to see. And I think we are in for a treat, as you said earlier, David. As when we head down to trackside, we'll be treated to a full lap behind the safety car. I believe it's a full lap here at Watkins Glen, it being an older circuit. Oh, no formation lap, beg your pardon. Oh, standing start for these cars. Oh, even better. Oh, this is going to be fun. Who's going to be, because there's a lot of horses that want to be able to escape from through the rear wheels. We've seen how tricky these cars are handled at the best of times. So yeah, let's have it.
Right, here's my question then, Chris. How big is the repair bill going to be at the end of turn one?
more numbers than we can possibly fathom, I dare say.
Yep, I think that is going to be absolutely spot on. But confirmation then, Philip Koongen on pole position alongside Danny Gusa, David Perel and Cody Pride on row 2. Row 3 is going to be Jose Javier Busan alongside Gregor Schill, Benedict Hitz along with Simon Zamori, 7th and 8th on row 4. Row 5 is going to be Jens Kaiser and Dan Mihalache in 9th and 10th position. It's 11th place for James Horn, 12th place for David Karapetian, and then Alaric Insland at the back of the fields all by himself in 13th position. Oh my god, what have we got to expect? We've got about 40 seconds left to go, Chris. I'm going to be honest, I'm going to let you take the race start because I need to pace myself on this one.
Oh, I am honoured, sir. I'll happily take the start in which case. So we're just waiting for the last of our drivers to ready up, get on the field. We've got a few gaps. So they'll be fiddling with their setups, changing fuel and what have you. And wow, look at the amount of soft starters there are. Way more than I thought. Now, we knew Koongen had done his lap. Well, Koongen and Pride had done their fastest laps on those softer tyres. But we've got Perel, Horn and Enslin. Ooh, that's a risk from Enslin. But, you know, there's no championship involved here. So it's not a huge cost if it does go a bit wrong. They've been giving a bit more time to get themselves ready because of fuel adjustments and what have you. That's a bit of an odd colour scheme, the one on the right with the yellow tyres on. I'm not entirely convinced by that. That would be James Horn's car. We can see on the right-hand side there as we watch from Karapetian from 12th position. The picture on the left is our pole sitter, Philip Koongen. Oh, come on. We're waiting for Alaric Enslin to finish his alterations and get on the field. can understand being nervous with this absolute rocket ship raring to go.
The weird thing about this as well, Chris, is the fact that the traction control is so mighty on this thing. It's really difficult to make a horrible start. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying it's very difficult indeed. But looks like we're not that far away from the start of this race.
No, so it is Kungen and Giusa on the front row, Perel and Pride right behind. So keeping an eye, particularly on Cody Pride, on those softer tyres. Enslin changed his mind at the last minute. Down to 3 soft starters now. A few people chickening out of those softer tyres. We'll see how that transpires as the race continues then. So we're just waiting for the last few moments of the countdown time. Jens Kaiser has decided to make a last-minute change. As we're now waiting for him to return to the grid. Oh, nerves are jangling. I'm nervous and I'm in the commentary box, so I dread to think what our drivers are thinking.
Not much, I would imagine, at this point in time, but I would imagine it's probably going to have been an extra 2 minutes that they were given to ready up. We'll certainly see. Certainly they're all back on the grid here. Let's see what's going to happen. So again, we're just waiting in this temporary hold while race control give us the green light for the start of this race. And yeah, this is going to be very interesting indeed here.
Indeed. Hopefully it's not 60 minutes of them standing still. That would be a bit embarrassing. But yeah, now we will hopefully get underway as well. We just have to wait for the timer to count down. We can't make that go any quicker. But I imagine some drivers kind of do well just to sit there as we look at David Perel again. Just casually looking around. Those are huge headphones he has on. They're massive.
There's CDA branding on them as well.
What was the size of his face? They're huge. But I mean, that's not saying his face is huge. I'm saying the headphones are huge. So can we see? We can't see on David's
It's not
screen.
5 minutes then, so we're still...
No.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, yep, here we go. So lights are on, getting ready to go. We know this procedure. It is time to wind them up and let them go. Oh, that's a terrible start from Giusa. Just stationary as the field comes flying past him. Oh, my goodness, there's chaos already. People on the grass further back. But my goodness me, lots of jostling earlier on. Now, these cars do not like bouncing off of one another. They do not like any kind of impact. So side by side. Oh, side by side coming up through the hill. And now David Perel has actually managed to get the lead from Kungen. So, yeah, they can't use DRS at the moment. You're seeing that the DRS remains shut. Oh, Jose Javier Buxton manages to wrestle that 5th position from Carapazzian. But Perel and Kungen are almost locked together. But, Kungen should have had the tyre advantage there, but wasn't able to capitalise on that. Perel's had an absolutely storming start. There you go. You can see most of the field in that particular shot. Doesn't look like we've had any major impacts. Most of the field have survived at least the first few corners. Oh, at the bottom of the shot there, you saw that's Giusa and Hits that are very close together. Side by side, slightly further back, that is Mori and Pride. Oh, Cody Pride's had a terrible start, falling all the way down. Well, he's just reclaimed 8th position from Simon Mori. There is Cody Pride with a lovely complimentary shot of Max Verstappen there. That's a great picture there. But it looks like everybody has survived lap 1 at least.
Yeah, it certainly does, but it looks also like Kungen's soft tyres now starting to switch on after that first lap. That gap was about 0.8 of a second. It's a huge run he's got on David Perel. Not going to get it down into turn 1. Going to have to back up as they come through the 90. And this is a stunning start to the race. Everyone getting going, and I think the thing is that they're going to be going for it. Oh, there's a little bit of contact there between Demori and I think that's James Horn. There's no DRS yet. That'll be next lap or the lap after, so lap 2 or 3 that will be getting DRS on here. But again, you definitely don't need it right now because there's plenty of cars to keep you going around. Just now, Gregor Schittel is in pit lane, possibly a retirement here. And wow, Chris, what an opening 2 laps we've had here at Watkins Glen. 53 to go, and we're knocking them off at a rate of knots here.
Absolutely, we will be. They'll be flying through the laps quicker than we realise. Yeah, Gregor Schell first in the pit. He's still in his pit stall, so we'll have to see if we can get an update on what happened to him. He's, like you say, David, he's back out again. So 40 seconds he was stationary for. So a lot of damage to repair on Gregor's car. He will be a lap down already. The leaders would have already come past him. But yeah, you go. So we've seen 18s now come on the board. Chiusa with the fastest lap last time around with an 18.859. Let's see. So this is the race start. So we've got one of the cars going onto the grass. That's Cody Pride, I think, that has bounced on there. Now I wonder if we can. Hopefully, we'll catch up with what happened to Gregor Schell as Maury is caught James Horde. James has had a terrible run up the hill. It's absolutely mugged. DRS now available to our drivers, and Mihalachi has gotten past James Horn as well. So is James got a problem with his tyres, or what's going on there? Because he's going backwards pretty quickly.
Yeah, he certainly is. And the thing is that all happened after the DRS detection zone, because you saw it was actually Murray that had the DRS on that one there. So we'll keep an eye on that. But this says Philip Koenen on the back of David Perel. And this is measured driving. These two obviously feeling very, very comfortable in these machines as well, as Koenen just settling behind. But there you go, a huge wiggle as that dirty air from the car in front from David Perel sends him spinning sideways, and he manages just to keep control of that car there. Danny Chiusa all into the tail end of that car in front, and the DRS opens as well. And it looks like Gregor Schell had a drive-through penalty, Chris, or stop-go penalty for jumping the start. So stop-go 30-second penalty right there, and you can see the lap time's already down. Fastest man right now, I believe, is Cody Pride down in 8th place. What's happened to Philip Koenen though? Because there we go, down into 3rd place goes 4th place goes Philip Koenen, and Chiusa and Hit all the way up there.
It could be that those tyres have already had it. Bearing in mind he qualified on them, and the car is now going to be very, very heavy. So interestingly, they actually look like medium tyres on the car at the minute. When you see it come past, you'll see there's actually yellow walls. But the tower does confirm that they are soft tyres. I would be, yeah, there you go. He couldn't hold that coming into the toe. I think those tyres are done. So he'll need to get rid of them pretty sharpish. And this is what I thought would happen with the track temperature being so high, and equally this circuit being lots of medium corners. Oh, same compound. Oh, I beg your pardon. So yeah, the same. So it's a different set of soft tyres, but either way, they're not doing him any real favours now. So it's not the set he qualified on; it's the same compound that he used, which was the soft tyres. He hasn't come in this time around. There is Cody Pride, who had the fastest lap last time around, so trying to make up for some lost time. Gregor Schell is, he's now being lapped. Well, he's going to be lapped, and Simon de Maury has come in. Now, is the heavy... Well, he's in the pit lane. Not sure why. Is this David Perel? And having an argument... Whoa, blimey. David Perel bouncing over the curb there. On board with our pulse. Look at this. Absolutely great stuff. Trying his best to do something against our pulsator, Koenen. So not able to do so at the moment. It's Danny Chiusa has gotten the lead. He's run off into the distance, or comparatively disappeared while we were looking further back. So David Perel still in a hot position. Oh, look at that. Look at the picture-in-picture there. Still, first has got about half a second, although won't do if he goes a little bit too wide. Look at that. 2, 3, 4, 5, all in very short order.
Yeah, certainly is, and a fantastic race from Chiusa here to take the lead of that race, and Koenen now coming back into it. Now he's looking like he fancies a go at David Perel as well. They're going to be side by side coming down the start-finish straight here. Up on the inside, you just got a tail end to it there, and Koenen up the inside, and it's contact. Perel forced wide into the runoff area. And that is pretty bad to see. David Perel out at the edge of the track there. We'll get a replay as soon of that there. It looks like it was, from what I'm hearing from race control, Chris, a bit of a netcode collision going on there. That's where the two clients, the two computers, can't agree exactly where the cars were on the track at the time, and end up shown as a collision for both of them there. Alaric Enslin into pit lane again after that earlier incident. I wonder if that's going to be that car retiring from the race, but we're already heading down in, and let's have a look here. And David Perel again trying to get that recovery drive here, Chris, but I mean it's going to be very, very difficult for that far back.
Yeah, but anything is possible. It really depends on how well people can hang on to these beasts. Obviously, we've still got tyre management, we've got energy management to deal with, as previously mentioned, as Alaric Enslin is still stationary in the pit, so he's been stationary for quite a long time, so that could be a penalty. That's the more likely damage that he's got to deal with. As we look at Cody Pride fending off the advances of Jens Kaiser, right behind him. Oh, that's very deep. It gets really, really bumpy out there. So he was lucky not to pick up an issue there, but manages to keep that one on the straight and narrow. There is a Carapetian. We just saw, there you go, just seeing disappearing out of the shot. So he's pressing on nonetheless, as well as Jose Javier Busan. Is really only a couple of tenths ahead of Carapetian at the moment. Kungen and Hitz are still pretty close together. Lots of battling continuing. Let's hope we have plenty more of it. Lots of people doing very, very good to hang on to the back of one another. Simon Demore on fresh tyres has just set the fastest lap with fresh hard tyres at that.
Amazing, amazing stuff. Still seeing that Alaric Enslin in pit lane. He's not. He's still in the server, so it does look like he's maybe just getting repairs onto that one. We've got Dan Mihalachi into the wall as well, and the first of many, you've got to say, getting going again. But that is going to huge risk, obviously, of sending things into either a safety car or a full course yellow. This is the instant earlier on with Philip Kungen and David Perel, and yeah, you just see it on the inside there, that car bouncing about, and Philip Kungen gets to drive off whistling into the sunset like nothing happened.
Yeah, indeed. That's sign that man up to the cricket team. What a catch that was from Cody Pride. It was me saying you'd never catch it if it let go, and he proved me exactly wrong. So that's I think it's Kaiser that's just retaken that position. It is Jens Kaiser that's retaken that 6th position. Oh, they done half bounce over that first apex. It does unsettle the car a bit. There's David Perel trying to regain lost time. But yeah, that was very unfortunate between Perel and Kungen into turn 1. Perel and Pride side by side for 7th position. There they are, both Mercedes liveried cars. There's no team play going on in this particular event. That's the on-board from David Perel's stream, which is a little bit behind our broadcast, of course, because the stream image we're seeing there is the public, is the public view, whereas our stream, of course, is live. So that's why the two aren't quite in sync. Yeah, Simon Demore's had an issue in the pit lane, we're being informed. So Alaric Enslin still hasn't. Oh dear, what has happened to Simon Demore? So this is what happened to Dan Mihalachi. Oh, just washed out, just completely, just understeered into. That's through the toe. So that's happened. He's going to quickly recover that back to the pit. So his day is probably done. And that's Simon Demore. So he's had an issue with the loop, it looks like. So that's unusual if that's where that was. I couldn't quite tell, but I thought that was the inner loop where that's happened. Oh, Cody Pride. Very, very, very close to the wall, flirting with danger there. That's on the heel, so on the latter part of the lap.
Yep, and Cody Pride into pit lane as well then. So Cody's out already. It looks like maybe just a change of tyres, or I'm not sure what was going on for Cody, but he went into the pits, came straight back out again and gets himself going again. Somehow Philip Kungen back up into 3rd position after all of that chaos earlier on, but he looks like he's going to be a bit of a sitting duck here, Chris, as Jose Javier Busan is right on his tail as they come through the 90 on the run-up. Excuse me, actually, this is halfway through the circuit towards the later stages of it, and Philip Kungen again tries to be defensive there, but Jose Javier Busan can't really do anything as they come round the final corner, and Philip Koongen's into pit lane and really hands that position over. I think he's called enough on those soft tyres.
Yeah, I'd say he's probably done that a bit late, as we just see someone at the back of the shot there coming into pit lane. There was Jens Kaiser that was coming into the pits as well. So that frees up Carapatian as we're watching him just coming up the hill now and continuing on his merry way. A couple of seconds to gain on Jose Javier Busan further down the road. And there he is. There is his next target that he's aiming for. And there in the back of the shot was David Perel, considering his issues. He's back up to 5th place. Yeah, those soft tyres aren't being anyone's friend at the moment. Jens Kaiser, his stop is done, so he's on his way back out. Philip Koongen is still stationary. Mahalachi has come back out on circuit. Gregor Schill has been to the pits. He is back out on track. We haven't seen Alaric Enslin return. We may well not. We still don't know what happened to him. But Simon Demori, we definitely saw what happened to him, so we would not like to see those two. There could be retirements that are going on there. What's happened? Oh, this is what happened to Alaric Enslin. So he's had an issue. Has he then hit something trying to get back underway? His tyres will be boiling hot. Simon Demori is on his way again. So yeah, indeed. So it's actually worth people getting back on track, because a lot of people are having issues. Even if you have your own problem, you're just as good getting back on track and cracking on with it. James Horn now in the pits. So we're waiting for a pit stop from our top 5 now. Everyone else has been through at least once. I think Simon Demori may have been through twice. Quick stop for Gregor Schill. That's his 2nd pit stop, I think. So that's probably a planned one for him, as we look at Carapatian just coming through the inner loop and on his merry way.
Yeah, and what a race we've had already. 11 laps down out of 55. All of the drivers now on the medium or the hard tyres. I've got no doubt that the medium tyres are going to be struggling very, very soon. In fact, Danny Giusa and Benedict Hitz both doing 120s last time round, and the hard tyres capable of doing the 118s. In fact, Cody Pride doing a personal best last lap round there on the hard tyres, 118.7, and Dan Mialachi as well on a fresh set of medium tyres, but those won't last long as Benedict Hitz now under all sorts of pressure from Jose Javier Busan. This is the battle for second place in out of the second. And
that's Demori.
In fact, yeah, sorry, I'm mistaken there. That's actually Simon Demori. And if that is the case, I mean, he has got quite a lot of pace in those new tyres here, Chris.
Yeah, Simon Demori is actually being held up behind Benedict Hitz at the moment because Demori's on fresh tyres. Now, he will be allowed to unlap himself, and it looks like he's going for it. He should have DRS. There he goes. So he's probably going to fly past Benedict Hitz. Actually, no, he bows out of it. Yeah, curious decision there. Now, general racing etiquette would allow Simon Demori to unlap himself if he is behind a lead car that is slowing him up, as long as he doesn't impede the car he's unlapping him from. That's just general racing etiquette, and that rule would apply. But he's opted to stay behind Benedict. It could be that he feels that Benedict still has the pace advantage. I can't see that he would, because those medium tyres, like you said earlier, David, is probably beginning to cry enough, or he's maybe just being a bit nervous, a bit cautious, maybe not wanting to interfere with the second place, with the race of the second place car.
Yeah, the other thing as well is I think a lot of drivers are learning just how much you can push these medium tyres here, Chris, because the tyre model in iRacing is incredibly advanced in the way that you've got to bring the tyres up to life gently to maximise the amount of life you can get out of those tyres when pushing them. And you can see that from the fact that Danny Giusa in the medium is still able to put out 119s, whereas Ben Hitz looks like those tyres starting to really go away from them now as they come up through the S's. And that means that Demori going to have that DRS again open very, very shortly. They're side by side, so he's going to have to go for the move. And in fact, Hitz pulls out of that to make sure he goes past there. So Demori is going to be chasing down now Danny Giusa. I don't think he's got the pace right now to catch up as David Perel into pit lane here, Chris.
Yeah, another pit stop served. And this one, like I say, David Perel. So just the top 4 now to see the pit lane. I would imagine. Now again, we've seen David Perel come to grief, so here's a stop. Actually a sub 5 second pit stop. That's is a planned stop. So if he does have damage, he's opted not to repair it. He did look like he was setting decent pace, though, so he may well have just gotten away with just the spin from his earlier incident. There is Benedict Hitz, as we were looking at earlier. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him in the pits very soon, along with Chiusa still on those medium tyres. Busan and Carapatien starting on the hard tyres. Probably got some distance to go before they see the pit lane. Still no sign of the pit lane in from our top two. As that is Busan, that is right behind Benedict Hitz. Now, Jose Javier Busan was a full second quicker than Benedict Hitz last time around. So those medium tyres, I suspect, are done.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely spot on with that. The medium tyres really starting to come to the forefront here, as you see Busan all over the back. There goes David Perel, though, out on his fresh set of tyres as well. He's on to the hard tyres, I believe, from what I can see there. Yep, out on a fresh set of hards. Goes round the outside, and Benedict Hitz there. That is another position that he has now just lost there. This time it was actually a fight, and that means that Jose Javier Busan takes that second place, looking very, very good on those new hard tyres. And Cody Pride back into pit lane. Now that was again another quick stop there for Cody Pride. Surely he's not burning up his tyres every 7 laps.
No, but he could be opting to run on the mediums. He may well not like how the hards, they may not suit him. So he may have just opted to go back to the mediums. We don't know. We don't know whether he's had an issue or not. Either way, he has had another, tyre stop rather than an unscheduled one. Still no sign of the top four. Again, I'm not expecting Busan or Carapatien to be in for a while. Probably another 10-ish laps before we see them hit the pit lane. There is Gregor Schill on the back of Mihalachi. So both of these drivers have had problems in the early part of the race. Gregor Schill's been through the pits twice. Mihalachi, having hit the wall, had a nearly 2-minute pit stop last time around. So that's where they've lost. Look at the time difference. Gregor Schill is really wanting to hustle now and make up for lost time. He's really, really good pace. Is Gregor at the moment. Is he going to make the move this time around? Looks set to do so on the inside line, coming into the inner loop, and there we go. Yeah, Mihalachi knew that one was done. Didn't try and turn in on someone that was already there. Perel is back up to pace as well. You can see the last lap times being set there on the back of James Horn. So, and I would think, when did James come over? James has been through the pit lane, so those are front. Oh, God, blimey. Drew the life. Wait, help yourself, Mr. Perel. I wonder whether James Horn decided to just let him go there, because the pace difference was catastrophically huge.
Yeah, that was a wild, wild difference in pace. And you could see from our brief jump on board David Perel's stream there, Chris, you could see that his delta was about a tenth up, nearly 0.2 of a second faster than his last lap there. And his last lap, believe it or not, was a 118.6 fastest so far in the current field right now, because the leader did a 120.3, and that tends to be about average with what everyone else is doing. So you're seeing their fastest laps of the race, but fastest lap actually with Simon Demore all those laps ago. But really that pace has fallen off, apart from David Perel that last lap round.
Yes, indeed. And Perel on fresh rubber, as we know. So yeah, this is again a further indication that those medium runners are going to be coming in soon. Those hard starters aren't doing much better either, in fairness. Busan 119.7 last time around. Carapatien a 121 flat for him. So we'll see if they decide they could opt to get off the hard tyres and get onto a set of mediums. Probably pushing their luck a bit on how well they're going to do going that far, but we will see what they do. So Chiusa has not come in, neither has Busan. Is Benedict Hitz going to come in? Probably not. Judging, by Chiusa standards, 20.2 for Chiusa. Yeah, Benedict Hitz has carried on a 22.5. Surely that is indication to get off these tyres, as that's one of the slowest laps we've got in the field. I'm surprised he's continuing on, but he knows what he's doing. Cody Pride a 17.9 last time around. I wonder, hasn't come up as the fastest lap. So I wonder if that was invalid somewhere. Must have been invalidated somewhere because it's not registered as the fastest lap. He's the only one that's hit the 17. So Cody Pride, keep an eye on him because he's on a charge.
Yeah, it looks like he might have just straight lined the chicane for that sort of speed. But the thing is, if he's done that much of a track cut, remember that the sim automatically assigns a slowdown penalty. So again, we'll find out what exactly is going on here. But across there, 18.3, so still good pace in that car. It's not a million miles away from the 117 that he's done before. So again, good pace on those new tyres, but again, those medium tyres, they won't last as long as the harder tyres. Looking at David Perel's doing a 119, and Benedict hits still on that 22.5. We'll see what he does across there. Benedict hits into pit lane. So as you said, Chris, it wasn't going to be too long. He did take that as his warning shot, and he's in for new tyres.
Yeah, that 22.5 that we see on our lap chart, that's because where the finish line is in comparison to the pit lane entry, he'd have crossed he'd have hit the timing beam in the pit lane more than likely. So unless he decided to hit the wall, no, that's a very short stop, I think. As we see Kaiser and is that and it was Gregor Schill that has gotten out of the way there. So that is Jens Kaiser up into fourth position. Hitz has had a slightly longer stop, but nothing too major on fresh hard tyres. That probably will see him to the end of the race, but we'll hopefully see some improved times then from Benedict Hicks. But that definitely would have cost him, those few laps getting into the 22s would have definitely cost him overall track time.
I think you're absolutely spot on with that one. And David Carapetian doing 122s that last time as well. There is Simon Demori though on your race leader. So Simon Demori not even waiting for a safety car, and your race leader into the pit lane then. So Danny Cusa hands over the race lead then to Jose Javier Busan, who does another 120 there. And the thing is that Jose can stay out because he's got that harder compound on. That's really the one that you want to be on. So we'll see Cody Pride coming back in, I would imagine, for Hards, as well James Horn and Dan Mihalachi as well. And it does look like we've lost Alar Kensland from the race then, 11 laps down. I think that goose is well and truly cooked there.
Sadly so, as Gius is back out on track. Carapatian is now stopped, keeping an eye on this bit. Wow, 3.8 seconds. A very quick stop for Carapatian. He will be heading out on, he's on hard tyres. As also the only person not to pit is Jose Javier Busan, and I'm not expecting him to. I was a bit surprised Carapatian came in because he was on hards already, and he's come back on hards again. Now, I think they do have to run it's like Gregor Schill in again. That's the third time he's been through the pit lanes, Gregor Schill. So another short stop for him. Again, another set of hard tyres. No, probably an issue.
Oh, there we go. Yellow flags then. We're going to have looks like a safety car. And Busan's into the pits. So Busan immediately into the pit lane. That is inspired choice for Busan there. Wow. So it looks like Cody Pride's had a crash, gets going again, and in fact, there we go, Cody Pride into pit lane.
Well, we heard that he'd had an incident. Well, here it is. So coming down to the first turn, into the 90s it's called. What has he done? Oh, wow, it's let go on him just as he's run onto that runoff area. He's going to headbutt the wall, and bang, there goes the front wing. There's probably fair amount of suspension damage in that as well. He's decided to park it rather than limp it. Oh, what a shame, because Cody was really hustling on. We were seeing 17s coming out of Cody Pride. So that's a great shame. But that's handed a huge advantage to Jose Javier Busan, who's back out on track. Although oddly, Goose has just taken the lead, even though they're under. I thought they'd be under. Oh, the safety car probably hasn't picked them up yet. So so Giusa's back up in the lead, according to the tower. So they're behind the safety car now. So Busan just lost the lead there, but only just. But he's on much fresher tyres than those around him.
Chris, what's happened to David Perel? Because he just got overtaken by David Carapetian. Under yellow.
Oh! Whoops. Oh, that got rather nasty. Well, that's what happened. So I would suspect David Perel's going to be in the pits again.
Ah, right. Okay, so it wasn't actually that there was an overtake. It was more of an oopsie moment into to turn one. Right, okay, so we reset the race then. Safety car. And, well, there we go. Safety car deployed. Lapped cars can't unlap themselves. Chris, I promise not to make any jokes if you don't.
You couldn't help it, could you?
Do you know, I've been waiting for about a week and a half to do my... I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
There goes Still. There goes Demori. So, I mean, Demori was already making moves, wasn't he? So, look at Gius and Busan. I mean, if you want to make that particular analogy, Hamilton on the outside line being hustled by... Okay, that's not a Red Bull, but, near enough. Well. Now, this is why Gius and Busan keep swapping round. Busan should technically be in the lead and will be by the time the safety car is done, I dare say. But yeah, that's handed a huge advantage to Javier Busan, who's setting decent lap times, but not top of the lap board kind of pace. So this is going to be interesting to see how that comes out. But again, we've got to wait for Schill and Demori to get back to the tail end of the field as they get to stare at the back end of the Porsche safety car. We work our way through the hill now. This is Giusa. So Giusa is playing a bit of mind games with Jose Busan there. So Cody Wright hasn't technically retired, but he did recover himself back to the pit lane, so we're probably not going to see him again after that rather big crash.
Well, I wonder, Chris, because obviously I would imagine that the drivers would have been given one quick repair tonight. Now, if he's already used that, also I've just been heard from Race Control, they've got unlimited fast repairs, so there's no real reason for Cody Pride to be still in the box unless he's decided to go for an early bath.
Yeah, I would. If they've got unlimited fast repairs, like you said, there's no reason for them to sit there for any length of time. So yeah, I guess. I mean, certainly Alaric Enslin has got it. Kaiser, Karapatian, and Perel and Horn all coming into the pit. Like, wow, lots of people coming into the pit lane. Kungen and Mahalachi and Shell and Demori all in. Ooh.
Yeah. Free pit stop, so you'd be silly not to take advantage of it as the pace car is going round. Now the lights are off on the pace car as well, so that makes it even more important to get out and get back onto that car. Although given the sedentary pace on that pace car, they're not really going to have any problem with that because it's doing about 10 miles an hour.
So, yeah, I mean, yeah, well, there you go. They're coming back out and they're still right behind the safety cars. So, if anything, all it does is just shake up the order. Now, Benedict hits ahead of Jose Busa, who I'm sure was in the lead when the safety car came out. But either way, they'll sort themselves out if they need to before the start. Well, there you go. You can see at the back of the shot there was Demori, and then right behind him was Mihalachi. So, the field now is formed and ready to go, other than Cody Pride and Alaric Enslin. So we will see what happens then when that feels so painfully slow.
It is so bad, Chris.
Yeah,
do you know what? I was actually waiting to say that. I was waiting to say the tyres are going to be absolutely Baltic. They're going to be stone cold. Now, there is a setting, if the drivers are aware of it, if they bring up their HUD, they can enable that good old brake magic. What that does is it's like in ACC, when you use the brakes, it keeps a little bit of the brakes on all the time. And when you're accelerating, it uses that heat in the brake to send it into the tyres, to work the tyres and bring them up to temperature much, much more quickly. But if you have that brake magic on in a race circumstance, it is useless. The brakes do not work properly at all, and you will go off at the next available corner. But if they do switch on brake magic, that will get plenty of heat into the tyres, and they will be able to go. And Danny Gisa, it's like Danny is trying to get the pace car to hurry up, and I've got to be honest, right? Going that slow, you might be tempted, Chris, to think that it is actually me behind the wheel of the safety car, but I assure you it is not. He's raging right now, is he? He's like, come on, hurry up.
He's not happy, is he? But I mean, I've done I've done worse than just be slow in the safety car. I've spun as the safety car before. Way back in the day, I was doing an endurance event and I came out as the safety car. And at Daytona, and yeah, I binned it. I spun it in the infield, and I soon said over the microphone, "No one saw that." And of course, there were lots of giggles. Lots of streams saw me facing the wrong way in the infield, but never mind. But yeah, this is very frustrating. This is going to ruffle a few feathers, but there's nothing we can do. The safety car is at that speed by default. It's not anything that we can control. So. There is nothing that we can do to make any real difference about it, but it will be coming in this time, ready or not. So, yeah, like you say, the race resets, lots of people on fresh tyres. Even those that didn't pit last time around, their tyres aren't that old. So there's no particular pace, tyre advantage. James Horn on the medium tyres, he's the one bucking the trend. So he might have a bit of tyre advantage. Early on, we will see, but like you said, they're all going to be absolutely stone cold. So
can you imagine if Cusa gets a penalty for overtaking the pit the pace car? That would be so bad. It would just he would not be happy with that one. But Chris, we're finally getting ready to go green here. But the pace of that safety car, this will be a sore subject for anyone who actually did go in real life. But I'm pretty sure, isn't this the pace that the safety car went in Spa, where it was that monsoon weather right now? And no surprises for saying there, safety car in this lap. Chris, are you ready to go racing?
Yeah, damn right I'm ready to go racing. Also, I've just realised Cody Pride is back on circuit again. I saw someone at the back of the field. I thought, who's fallen off the back? It's Cody Pride. He's realised the safety car's out there and he's legged it round the circuit. But here we go then. Danny Usa has got the field underway again and lots of squiggling going on. The tyres just do not want to bite. But here we go through the first turn. Kungen's already got James Horn. James on the softer tyres I thought would be pretty hot off the line. But either way, it's the two Haas-flavoured cars, Giusa and Benedict Hicks, that have managed to get a decent run up the hill. There is Gregor Schill, who's now on the lead lap. He's gotten past James Horn, who's going backwards at a rate of knots. Oh my goodness me, those softer tyres are doing him no favours at all, as then it's Mihalachi getting ahead of James. What on earth has happened to James Horn? It's like he can't get all the power down for whatever reason. There's Carapatien that is being hustled by David Perel, who's in turn is going on Kaiser Ard. Yeah, energy management. Yeah, that's true. Message coming through from one of our team that it could be, we can't confirm it, but it could be any energy management problems for James Horn, or he's just wanting to go, maybe he wants to do a last to first. Oh, big move from Kungen on the inside of Perel, on the inside of the heel. Oh, can he get it done? It's going to force him to the outside line. Coming, well, that's Demori that he's now side by side with. Good grief, that was a great move. Didn't come off for Kunga, but it was a great effort.
Yeah, brilliant stuff. You see David Perel just coming out of that final corner just now as the cars all come whistling across the line. We get very, very close to the halfway point. You see Simon Tamori having a look up the inside. That was a late move on the exit for David Perel there. Kungen goes round the outside at the S's. Simon Tamori fancies a bit of this as well. The contact and David Perel into the barriers, and that is going to make good night Vienna. The car is neck loaded. And we're going yellow again, so the pace car comes out, the safety car comes back out again, and there's chaos and drama, and that car looks very, very badly damaged. I'm not sure there's going to be much scrap value left on that one, Chris.
I love the fact, as we were looking at David Perel's stream there, the fact that you could see one of the wheels pointing up as opposed to sideways, and there we go. It said, you've got a bit of damage. You don't say, race engineer. Yeah, thanks for that. My goodness me. But yeah, now was a great opportunity for Cody Pride to get onto the lead lap. He just has to unlap himself once and be on the field. Now, is anybody else going to come into the pits to ditch their tyres? Now, not everybody did. A few people opted to stay out there. Busan's down into 5th, so that restart didn't go well for him, as he was leading at one point. There's Benedict Hitz in 2nd position. Is anyone going to come in? I don't know that anybody will, because the vast majority of people already came in once before. Where is Cody Pride is the big question. Also, how long is Perel going to be in the pits? There goes Gregor Schill. Are you going for a record? It's
50 pit stops in one race. This is going to be a YouTube episode, isn't it? The 50 pit stop challenge.
Absolutely, but here we go again. So this year we've now got the slow pace of the pace car. There goes Cody Bright. So Cody Bright is now on the lead lap, as Gregor Schill is actually showing as overtaking people, which he shouldn't be doing. Not sure that's entirely correct, or he could be returning to the position he should have been in. I wonder whether he was just a bit too close to the pit lane entry, which is what made the tower say he was in the pits. He may not have actually come in at all. So Cody Pride then on his way round to rejoin the back of the snake. He'll have some way to go. I'm not sure if they have to do that at reduced speed. They can't just absolutely floor it. I'm not 100% certain of that, so you may have to be careful how quickly he gets to the back of the pack. Well, we're likely to have a couple of laps behind the pace car again. We did say, I think you particularly said, David, that we're likely to see quite a few safety cars in this race. Well, in fairness, it took about, not far off half distance before the first one came out.
Well, it's also like what they say, isn't it, Chris? Yellow breeds yellow, and that's the issue with this. And Danny, you say, it's just like, I'm pretty sure he's done right now. And the safety car is real. I'm pretty sure Danny thinks he's just trolling him at this point.
Well, he's whether he likes it or not, he's got to stare at the back of it. He will no doubt get told off if he tries to get past it for any length of time.
And just thinking as well here, right, so we've got a little bit of a lull, a little bit of chance to regroup and think about things as David Perel finally gets that car back into pit lane, get it repaired and get out of harm's way for that as well. You can see the car's almost coming to a standstill here. They're really, really struggling to get any heat and keep any heat into those tyres. And with the fact that Perel's car has been recovered to the pit lane, I do wonder if he's decided to call it out. What is his front left wheel doing? What is that?
Wow.
The car should be getting repaired right now, and it's just not happening. It could be he's being held for the pace car, but I very much doubt it. In fact, no, it's still being towed to pit. Sorry. It says there, right in the blooming middle of the screen there, towing. Yeah. And I'm just like, where is it? Yeah, so there we go. That's exactly what's happening with that car. So 2.5 minutes gone. That car will be several laps down here. And that pace car, I mean, that is just a crazy slow speed. I would not doubt that when the car crosses the line, though, it'll put the lights off on that safety car. So let's have a look at some moments then as we see David Perel. That is exactly what happened to that car. He's an innocent bystander at that point. The geometry slightly skewed on that car, I'll be honest with you, as the wheel finally comes off of that car when it comes down and hits the bottom barrier there. Not much left on that car to go. And let's have a look earlier on. Dan Mielache trying to make it too wide into the inner loop here, gets going again and manages to make that move stick. And that again returning to some of the earlier action, and now pit lane open, and now a lot of the cars in to get their tyres here. And predictably again, just the 3 cars that are staying out. We've got David Carapetien in the pit lane, Gregor Schill in pit lane, James Horn in pit lane, Cody Pride in pit lane as well. But the rest of them, well, this is... let's do this then.
Yeah, absolutely. So several people opting for yet another pit stop. Yeah, Gregor Schill is definitely going for the Pokemon rule of pit stops. He wants to collect them all. So this is a replay of the restart from earlier, when the safety car came in for the first time. There is our pole sitter, Koningen. There's Demori side by side. Oh no, it would have been Simon Demori. Side by side. Then, obviously right behind them is when the incident with David Perel has happened. But Gregor Schill is in the pits again, and this time for an extended period of time. Why? What has happened to you? So that's coming into turn 1. And that's somebody else now. That's exactly what happened earlier, wasn't it? With Cody, was it Cody Pride?
Yeah, it was Cody Pride. It did exactly the same. You're absolutely spot on there, Chris. And again, there's no visible damage, but huge suspension damage on the rear of that car. That will be horrible, horrible, horrible to drive right now. And that will be why he is into pit lane as well. Gets going again. But Jose Javier Busan back out, and this is a replay then coming across on the line here. This is almost certainly going to be a turn one incident then. Too much speed into the corner. The car's going to hit that curb on the inside, you would imagine there. So let's have a look here, as I'm just hearing that David Perel just leaving the box then, so the car is repaired. He'll get going again, but I believe that's going to be what is that a lap down, 2 laps down that he is, so just 1 lap down there as we get ready. This is Dan Mielache. So again, Danik Yusa then with the safety car still on track. We need to check if the safety car lights are out. They've got about half the laps still to go here, but I would imagine they're about to go racing very, very soon. In fact, pace car lights still on, and yeah, I can imagine they're getting a little bit frustrated at this point, Chris.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Yep, that's exactly what I was just wondering. That's David Perel that's just flown past us. I was just wondering whether they...
And there you go, the lights are out, so that's exactly what the safety car was waiting for.
That's what the safety car was waiting on. Yeah, it was David Perel to come past. Now, David Perel will have time to rejoin the back of the snake, and David Giusa wants to get in the boot of the safety car now. He's doing everything he can to try and hurry it up, as Mihalachi and Demori swap round. So yeah, the only car we've lost then from this race is Alaric Enslin, which is a great shame. But there we go, confirmation from race control. The safety car will be in this time around. David Giusa is determined to try and barge the Porsche out of the way. I dare say you're not going to win that one. Formula One car versus a road car. Yeah, the road car's a bit heavier than you, sir. So I suspect you would not come out too well from that particular encounter. Now, Pride and Horn on the medium tyres, everyone else opting for the softs, but those mediums did not do James Horn any favours at all, but we don't know whether he had enough energy in the tank to do what he needed to do. There is David Perel just coming through. So, yeah, I mean, he's going for it, so he is obviously allowed to be up at racing speed, and you can see how he bounces over the apex, which is what everybody's been doing, in fairness. I thought it would unsettle the car more than it is, but he is good. Now, his tyres are going to be up to temperature because he's been able to do a lap at racing speed, unlike everybody else. So we could see some real progress from David Perel when the safety car disappears.
And it's still on track because they are just coming round to the final couple of corners just now. So he is going to catch up to them before he even imagines it. Here it comes up to the final corner now. And David Perel is going to be absolutely on fire. Oh my goodness me. Have to hammer on the brakes to David Perel. Ooh, you saw the reaction in his face. And he's laughing himself. That was wild. We get ready to go green. The green flag goes, and we are racing back here at Watkins Glen, Chris.
Away we go, and hits it on Giusa's tail this time as they come through the first turn. And yeah, David Perel wants to make some moves at the tail end of the field after Cody Pride is really wanting to make it. He's nailed too. He's nailed Carapatian and Mielache. Oh, lots of side by side. There's Kungen. We want to get involved. Whoa, 3 wide. We can go up. Oh no, there's impact again. That's Buxton that's gone rounding into the wall. Oh no, not again. Another victim. You're never ever going to make a 3 wide work coming into the inner loop. That's Buxton that's back into the pits. Carapatian has gone into the pits as well. So it's gone wrong for him. That is Demori that's being overtaken by Kaiser there. Are we going to get another safety car? Is it going to be an evening of safety cars here as we're fast approaching halfway in the race? Right behind, that's Mihalachi being overtaken by Cody Pride. So he is making moves towards the tail. Bearing in mind he was last a few minutes ago. My goodness me. So, here we going to get... Yep, there it is again. Another safety car.
Oh, Michael, no, this is not fair.
You've been waiting to use that.
Oh, my God. Right, I'm going to go and get a pillow and a sleeping bag, guys. I'll be back in a minute.
Oh, goodness me.
Wow.
Another safety car in this race. Now you see why that 2-hour timer is up there, because if we have too many of them, we may be hitting the time limit on this race. Oh dear, but what happened to Carapatian? I wonder what happened to David Carapatian, because we didn't see an incident with him. We obviously saw what happened to Busan with that 3 wide. Oh, goodness me. Yeah, now the Michael, it's not right messages are coming out. Oh, goodness me. Well, here we go again.
Right, okay, so our regularly scheduled programming for a Wednesday night is going to be a little bit later than usual, so you will be able to still catch that. It'll just be about the time of 11 o'clock by the time we actually get finished tonight here. Poor Danny Gusa is going to be going absolutely mental right now. I think he's just given up, put on the pit limiter, and he's off to play some solitaire or something, because there's nothing that he can do just now. It's just, yeah, it's absolutely nuts.
Yeah, well, that is rather what we feared would happen with these cars being absolute monsters to handle. Well, here it is again. So Busan is the victim here as we go 3-1. Now Busan's actually, and there it is. He was actually on the outside line, but didn't anticipate there was still someone on his inside line as he tried to then take the racing line, and unfortunately wallop into the wall. Is where he went into the, well, being towed back to the pits. Now here's James Horn. Now what happened here? Oops. Yeah, I think he got a little bit caught out by events going on in front of him. He got a bit distracted and bounced over the grass. It's not ideal, but in the end, not particularly of too much consequence. What are we seeing? David Carapatian. Now what happened here? That's a same car. Oh, is it? Wow, his car just snapped on him. I wonder if he broke on the grass, which would cause the car to pitch like that, and then he just caught the wall on his way round. Oh, as he nearly took somebody else with him. Possibly David Perel, not sure who that he nearly caught with him. But that's why Carapatian's in the pits as well.
Now, I'm not sure how long this is going to be, because obviously Busan and Carapetian, they're still going to be towing their way back to the pits. That's going to take at least a good 3 minutes or so before they can do that. So they'll all come at the same time, because obviously they were off about the same part of the track there. But yeah, this is going to be a long one. And I'd suggest you get your popcorn ready, folks, because we might actually get this race finished tonight. I can't believe we're coming up to an hour of racing, 50 minutes of racing, and that's just not even halfway through the race yet.
Yeah, I mean, did you realise that Formula One cars could do endurance races?
Well, I think Formula One cars are just figuring out they can do endurance races as well. It's like many things, Chris. Just because they can doesn't mean they should.
Doesn't mean they should. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no argument there at all. Well, I mean, what can we say? Well, that's Giusa phasing through the safety car there, or being run over by the safety car, essentially. Well, that's the view from David Perel, who nearly integrated himself into someone else's car on his way back round the field. Still no movement from Busan or Carapatian, so that's obviously still being deemed as being towed back to the pits or still being worked on either way. Safety car looks determined to do another lap. Cody Pride is in. Now, he was the one on the medium tyres earlier on that was making some decent progress. Is anybody else coming in? We saw someone on David Pride's inside Perel's rather. Oh, that was Cody Pride on the inside line. Again, bearing in mind that...
the safety car lights are out.
Gregor Schill and James Horn have come in as well. So, yes, the safety car lights are indeed out. And, Pride and Schill and Horn obviously don't have to unlap themselves, although... there's Busan and Carapatian have now come out. That's why.
Yeah, so that's why. So they're able to get going, and we're going to get racing again this lap. Right, please, come on, guys. We have to. We need to get to bed sometime tonight. Let's keep this orderly, keep this clean, and... look at little Simon Demore. I love the fact that he's in 5th position. He's just like, he started at the back of that restart, got himself up. He was 2 laps down and is now up into 5th position. Come on, plucky little Simon Demore. into the lead of this race, please. Thank you very much.
At least we don't have to wait for Alaric Enslin to unlap himself. That would take a while. He's 21 laps down, so that would take quite some considerable period of time.
Absolutely, and that's the that's the thing. 21 laps would be here for about a week, I think, watching Alaric trying to lap here. But goodness me! Now Karapetian is. Oh, hang on. Why is Karapetian's time going up rather than down? There's a car just stopped in the middle of the track. Why is that car stopped? Chris, my head doesn't compute what is going on here.
No, I've got no answer to that one. Karapetian, he's moving again. What on earth is he doing?
Does he think he's got to let the safety car by? Or oh my God, he's gone again! So there we go. He's got the message that he can get going.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming that's some kind of technical issue. If he had, for instance, if he's running in VR and his headset froze, which I've heard that kind of thing can happen,
it can.
He would have had to have stopped.
Trust me, it can. I've had that happen at very inopportune. It was the wave around didn't come through, so they had to manually do that through. So gets it going again. He'll be back round by the time these cars head round here. But
right, that wasn't his fault. That's fair enough. But I mean, I've had VR freeze. I'm a VR user myself. I've had it freeze, but only for a brief second, not for any length of time. Obviously, other people have bigger technical problems than I've had.
Paul Timmer on YouTube chat, Chris, thinks that we should pop some headlights onto the W12 and make them do the Nordschleife 24. I am absolutely up for that. This car at Nordschleife is just so good. It's a wonderful, wonderful combination, and I've still not managed to do it in under 5 minutes. 5 minutes and 4 seconds is my fastest time around there, and it's a wild combination. So I'm very much, Paul, in favour of that combination.
I'm going to say something that is possibly going to cause a bit of a stir now.
Oh,
I'm not a Nords fan.
Dun dun dun!
I know.
Right out, sir. What? How could you not be a Nords fan?
I know. I mean, to watch it, sure.
Hang on. Do you like Paul Ricard? I see. Okay, I can't even make that comparison. You know, it's not like you're a big Paul Ricard fan, but you hate or you dislike the
I don't quite get your comparison there.
I absolutely detest Paul Ricard.
Oh, I see. Right.
Yeah. So it's like if you like one and not the other, yeah, it's
Again, to commentate on Paul Ricard, no, yeah, I'm okay with that, but to race on it, yeah. I'm fairly indifferent, but no,
I just hate it because I get lost all the time.
Oh, do you get the epileptic fit off of the multicolored skin?
All the different layouts and stuff, and I'm like, where am I going? I don't know what I'm doing. But so what's with the Nordschleife then? What
I've just never been a huge fan of it. Never mind, we'll have that conversation later. Here we go again. Safety car number 3 is in, and Giusa gets on with it. Hits has stayed right on his tail again. We don't need the lights. We've done that bit. But there's Kunga. Now, bearing in mind he was our pole sitter, then right the way down the field. But Buxton is coming in the pits. What is on earth's happened to him? Why is he coming in the pits now? No idea.
But look at this battle. Three-way wide coming up through the S's. We've got a car disappeared. Cody Pride comes back, and that is some major neckload there. We're going to have three-wide again into the chicane. I can't take this, Chris. My little heart can't take it. And pulls out of it, does Gregor Schill. David Pereldo at the back of that group has to back off. And Dan Melacci just behind Cody Pride. And, oh, wow. Absolute mayhem right now.
We've at least survived longer than we did last restart. I've said it now. I've cursed this. I'll take it if we do. Yeah, I'll take the commentator's curse on that one. You can all throw stuff at me, figuratively speaking. Here's Perel and on Mihalachi for 7th position. Can he get it done? Not quite. Mihalachi holding on to that position. He's going to have the inside line for the next left-hander. There is Gregor Schill looking to get involved. Wow, Perel bouncing off. Oh, literally bounces off of Mihalachi. Oh my goodness me! The car somehow survived. And that's what it looks like from his perspective. Oh, that would have been a tad uncomfortable. So there's Perel, there's Schill and Karapetian, all in this particular battle. That's Gregor Schill was falling down the field. Further up front, Giusa leads Kungen. Kungen with a bit of a gap between himself and Jens Kaiser, with Simon De Mori that is already taken that 4th position. Oh, here we go again. These 3 all together. That's Carapatian on the grass trying to get something done. Perel, bearing in mind he's just been on 2 wheels and slamming his suspension into the ground, is still going pretty strong. Schill and Horn at the back of this pack. What a fight we've now got.
Clearly, these W12s are made of stronger stuff than what we see here, as we see Schill and Horn going side by side. Schill takes that position from Horn there, but you're absolutely right. I mean, David Perel was sent skywards on 2 wheels and comes down. Any lesser F1 car you would have thought would have been in bits after that one, suspension in tatters, but Perel not only holds on, gets the position, sends Dan Michalacci backwards along with David Carapatien and Gregor Schill and Horn behind him as well. Perel on the charge, but he's still 4.5 seconds back behind the leaders here. This is Benedict Hitz then, and a huge fight. Kungen up the inside for P2 into the 90s then for the 31st time of asking here. We finally passed the halfway mark and we've only got another 24 laps left to go here. Horn back ahead of Schill, but that's because they're side by side, and De Mori fighting with Kaiser. Kaiser gets that DRS then safely up into 4th position there. De Mori into 5th, and Cody Pride trying to catch up there. David Perel falling off the back of this train here.
You saw the power of the DRS there. Simon De Mori was looking good on Kaiser, but Kaiser just mugged him, and Cody Pride nearly did the same thing. So Simon De Mori was stranded pretty much in 5th position. But yeah, Kungen is now ahead of Hitz, but Giusa, a bit of flirting with the grass there for De Mori, manages to keep that one going in the right direction. But Giusa is gone. He's got himself a good couple of second lead at the moment. Big, yeah, he's because he's not getting DRS. He's not giving DRS to Kungen. He's able to just to run off into the distance, whereas Kungen hits Kaiser, De Mori, and Pride all in this train are just grabbing DRS from each other. That's the onboard from Cody Pride, and you'll just see this train just home in. Although Kaiser is in danger of not getting it, although he was the fastest man by a good 0.3 of a second last time around, but he's not going to get DRS. Oh, that's Schill and Horn arguing over wooden spoon avoidance at the tail end of the field. And, whoa, that's a bit wide, but he's managed to keep that one on the straight and narrow. Jose Javier Busan, he's back on track with a couple of laps down. And these guys, yeah, they've kind of kept themselves sorted out. Yeah, so Kaiser would not have got DRS that time around. He's outside of a second behind Benedict Hitz at the moment. But what a great scrap going on, and glad that we're able to see this scrap at full speed.
Yeah, it's brilliant to watch now as we see Jens Kaiser, Simon Mori and Cody Pride all duking it out here. This is coming through halfway around the circuit, then this is through the toe section of it along the boot straight and down in towards the heel as well. The car jinking under all that pressure as the camber washes the car away. They go away to the left hand side of the track, and that looked like a little bit of a move there from Cody Pride up the inside of that corner there, that long sweeping left hander there, but Simon Mori thinks better of it. You can see a little bit of a jiggle in the background as Cody Pride takes too much of the curb but gets a much better run out of that corner. Simon Mori trying to hunt down Jens Kaiser, and Cody Pride trying to do likewise with Simon Mori on lap 33 here at F1's return to Watkins Glen again. Another jink of oversteer, a snap of oversteer as Cody Pride tried to hunt that car down through the S's here. We've hit an hour, and Philip Kungen side by side with Benedict Hitz, and Benedict Hitz takes that second place back from them, and there we go, Cody Pride ahead of Simon Mori. That actually started on the run out of that final corner. Simon Mori going to try and get the long run round the outer loop here, but Chris, this is now starting to heat up very, very nicely indeed.
Yeah, De Mori had a terrible run up the hill. That just left him absolutely open to attack from Pride, but my goodness me, Cody Pride was really hustling hard. He looks set to attack Jens Kaiser as they head through the boot section and looking to try and make progress on Kungen ahead. That gap is look at the gap between De Mori and Perel as well. It's now 6 seconds between 6th and 7th. That was 4 seconds only a lap or so ago. I'm also keeping an eye on the gap between 2nd and 3rd. That's been hovering around 2 seconds for a while. Was did think about being less than a couple of seconds a lap ago, but Gius is just minding his own business up front. 2 seconds is a comparatively huge gap that we've seen at the moment, so we'll see if he's able to hang on to that. Should be able to, as long as he keeps himself out of the wall, which, as we know, in these cars is pretty difficult to do. There's Gregor Schill attacking Mihalaci. Oh, again, Gregor Schill had a good run into the uphill section, but just could not use that pace. He's now going to utilize the DRS and just watch Mihalaci fly backwards. There you go. And just the pace difference is scary. But Mihalaci defending that inside line, and Schill had to bow out of that one. He's gone over the line. He obviously can't gain. He's going to give the position to Karapatian. Will have a slowdown penalty for that. But yeah, he decided not to risk doing the side-by-side or trying to cut back through the inner loop, and decided to take the safer option through the oh, that's why he's got no front wing on his car. So when did that happen then? Because he didn't hit anything, unless again the netcode is doing some strange things, but we didn't see any impact. Where on earth he lost that?
I'm not sure really, but he's obviously losing a lot of time there, so he definitely has lost that somewhere. And again, that is a horrible, horrible end to the race. Surely you've got to feel that Gregor Schill's day is done, unless there is, God forbid, another safety car. I just pray not. I really, really do. It's not. I wonder if he actually knows, because Gregor Schill 1:11.122 that last lap round, so he's got to know right now. But Jens Kaiser with Pride and Simon de Mori all fighting it out. Then this is down the back straight here. Oh, Chris, huge battle going on around the outer loop here.
Yeah, Cody Pride is really wanting to hustle now, almost pushing Jens Kaiser along, but not able to do anything about it. It could be a visual bug on our side. That usually happens to wheels more than it does wings, but we'll see if Gregor Schill is able to pick up any pace, and we'll know it's oh wow, Cody Pride getting all out of shape coming through the toe. That's going to give Simon de Mori a run, but doesn't go for it. He rather did run out of road, so he bowed out of that at the right time. Whoa, very deep again has Cody Pride. I don't think Cody Pride's been on those tyres very long, so I can't believe he's burned the best out of them already. So here's Gregor Schill. Oh, it's already in trouble. There, look. So he's hit something before this particular point. There it went. He just decided he didn't want to play ball anymore and just dropped after the loop section. So he must have hit something before that point. There's Cody Pride. Oh, again getting squiggly coming through that first turn. De Mori's dropped off the back of them. Is Cody Pride going to be able to make a move on Jens Kaiser coming onto the back straight? Surely so. He's very, very close. DRS open. Kaiser thinks about defending the inside line. Oh, it's a side-by-side! Oh, Kaiser, wow. Hang on. Well played by both of them. No impact. That's how you make a side-by-side through the loop section.
You know that bit at Bad Boys, the film Bad Boys at the end? It's like, that's how you drive. From now on, that's how you drive. Dan Mihalaci, this is a replay going into the 90s, into the turn one here at Watkins Glen. And hold on to that position here. But back to the live action then. Gregor Schill. Oh, and here comes Simon de Mori up the inside then. He's going to get this position. Shoves Pride out to the inside, but Pride gets the inside for the next corner. De Mori round the outside, gets the drive. What a run for Simon de Mori. That was amazing. Amazing stuff there.
Here it is again. So this is actually Simon de Mori and Cody Pride who we've just seen. Now that's down at that's down at the heel. So that's where that started. But those tyres are doing Cody Pride no favours at all. He's all over the place. That car is squiggling around like an absolute mad thing. Oh, here we go. Is Mihalaci and Gregor Schill having an argument? I think it is. Yes, it's those two having an Whoa, that's oh no, Gregor Schill's the one with the missing wing at all. That's a big button. Is that James Horn? Yeah, that's James Horn and Mihalaci having an argument. There we go. DRS open for Mihalaci.
Wait, isn't that actually because James Horn is the partner?
Oh no, it's Buxton.
It's Buxton. Yeah, so
beg your pardon.
Down. He's fancying this as well. But yeah, I mean, it's brilliant to see that even lap cars are thinking, yeah, I still fancy a piece of this. And, in all intents and purposes, all we need to get is, I'm going to touch wood again, I hope we don't, another safety car, and Busan is going to be on to the lead. Oh, contact! Not like that. He's not. Dan Malachi. A huge bit of contact there. Please no. Please no. Get to the pits.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's still running. So what's happened to Kaiser? Jens Kaiser is down in the pits. What's just happened to him? Jens Kaiser has had an incident.
And that doesn't look like it's well, we've got Dan Malachi has pulled at the pits as well. So there goes Jens Kaiser. It's out of that corner. Oh my God! Just eat some wall, have some of that. And Jens Kaiser. Oh, and Simonton Mori. That is expert advice. Oh, and there's a little bit of a contact there with Corey Pride as well. Jens Kaiser, though, is, I think it's safe to say he's going to feel that one in the morning there. Oh, we've got yellow flags. No!
You knew it was coming. You knew it was coming as soon as that happened. You knew that was coming. Oh, my goodness me.
Why? Why do you do that? Why do you hate me so much, Race Control? Why would you do this to us?
Oh, my goodness. Well, safety car number 4 is now with us, but that's 4 Road America, 4 tonight. Must be something about classic American circuits in this car. Well, you dared to mention that the safety car would be to the advantage of Jose Javier Busan, and let's see if he takes full advantage of it. Giusa and Hits are in. Kungen has chosen to continue. That's curious. Okay. Demori has continued.
Here's a question, Chris. If you can choose what tyres you go on from now, 16 laps to go, what do you choose?
Mediums all day. The cars are much lighter, and the mediums should do their job. So yeah, and there you go. That's mediums on Giusa and Hits. So yeah, that is a clear cut decision. I'm curious on why Kungen and Demori didn't do it. Perel's stayed on hards as well. So Perel's up to 4th, considering he's been like 3rd last, 6th last, and now 4th again. He's a great show with no front wings now.
He has no front wing. Does he think that he's just naturally lost that speed off the car? He thinks. Sorry, I surely somebody's going to have told him that he's. Surely it comes up though, because obviously you get a meatball flag when you've got to get the
I was going to say, why is he getting the meatball flag? Because that's what.
That could genuinely be netcode. Actually, I'm wondering if that is, because if he's still feeling that there's nothing wrong with that car.
That's what I'm wondering. That's what I was saying earlier. I wonder if it's just a visual glitch for us, but he's actually still attached to. Yeah, all of the race control sees a missing front wing. So what I'm curious on, unless he's just ignoring it, unless he's just saying, no, I've had enough of being in the pit lane.
But why? Why would you not come in when it's an instant fix? So they drive into the pit lane. As soon as your car goes into the pit box, that's it done. He might come in at this lap because obviously even if the safety car lights were to go out, then that doesn't matter. But Dan Malachi still being recovered to pit lane. That also means that Jens Kaiser is going to be allowed to go around. He's still shown as a lap down just now, as is Busan. And then as soon as they go past that pace car, then obviously the lights will go out. But for me, tyre choice, I would throw a curveball. If I'm in the top 5, absolutely, I agree with you. I'm going on mediums. If I'm outside the top 5, I'm going on softs, banking on the fact that there's going to be another safety car in the next 16 laps. Soft tyres, very, very good pace-wise. You could mow through the field on soft tyres, given that there's about 3 seconds a lap difference on those soft tyres. They will burn out in about 6-7 laps, but you take your chances. I think you could make some big wins if you put on soft tyres, if you're outside the top 5.
Fair enough. I think you're mad, but I just can't see how that would work with that many laps remaining. But that's what I'm saying. Banking on that there's going to be another safety car. That's the only way that would work. If there is another safety car. But if there was, soft tyres would be an amazing shout. If and when there is another safety car, you better believe if it's something like lap 50, everyone will be on softs. Everyone's going to be on softs. Yeah, 100% agree with that.
Could you imagine that? They're like a 5-lap dash for the cash, but everyone, all 30, all 12 cars still in for it. My God, it would just be absolute mayhem.
Because we haven't had enough of that already tonight here at Watkins Glen. Oh, that's one of our lap runners through. That's 2 of them through. So we're just waiting on Mialachi, I believe. That was Buxton and Kaiser that's just come through. I believe. Oh, there he is. Here we go. Here comes Kungen.
Could you imagine if safety car was in at that point? Just the lap car goes in and that's it. Everyone's in the pit lane.
See if anybody's going to follow. So it's everybody except for Giusa and Hits. Is everyone going to go medium at this point? I don't reckon anyone's going to go soft right now. But I wait to be proven wrong. I'm watching the tower with eager. Look at this. That's literally everybody except Giusa and Hits. But they came in not long before the safety car was done. So no, we've got a fair amount of mediums, I think.
Oh no, what's happening with Kungen? Why is he taking so long?
Good question. And Horn as well. Did they have damage that we don't know?
Well, no, because it's a fast repair. So as soon as they go into the pits, so I'm really unsure on what is going on with those cars there, because there's no refueling either. So
sure enough, there goes Kungen. Yeah. So and again, we've got a mixture of hards in there. So people have just gone onto this. But as I say, it was what's happened to Giusa and Hits? They were at the front of the field just now. Mind you, we've got lots of people fidgeting.
Pit stops, yeah. So that's what's happened. They've taken pit stops, and they'll jump back in position because Pride, Mori, and Perel they opted to stay out.
Well, Gregor Schill is still got the Pokemon pit stop award. He's on 7 pit stops this race, and Gregor Schill is in 7th. So 7 seems to be his number. Cody Pride, who's our current leader, has had 6. And David Karapatian's had 5. Everyone else has had... the ones with the least are actually Giusa and Hits. They've only had 2, amazingly. And they were in the lead quite commandingly for a while. I don't know what to think. I really don't know what to think.
Lights are off, so we've got half a lap to think about this. Busan and Horn are going to catch back up. In fact, Horn's still in the pit lane just now. Horn just out just now. Well, this is what do we say?
Not a clue. Not a absolute. Well, James Horn is still on the lead lap, so he doesn't have to. He's just got half a lap to make up to the safety car, so he doesn't have to work his way past the field or anything like that. Oh, I don't know. iRacing can't do rain, so we haven't got any weather issues to worry about. Not a clue. I have absolutely no idea what to expect at this point.
Well, we're only about a minute away from finding out as this race goes green again. Oh no, Cami Racing is out saying, oh no, Merck's behind safety car. Have they changed the rules for lapped cars yet? Lapped cars are allowed to go through. I think you'll find in this race we're not going to be selective who we head through. So Corey Pride in fourth of in the lead of the race after all of the drivers, Danny Gusett and Ben Hitz, went into pit lane for tyres. That means that Pride and Mori and Perel go into first, second and third. So, right, gather your thoughts, Chris. What on earth do we say to this? What do we think is going to happen in the final 15 minutes of this race?
Well, it's going to be entertaining no matter which way it swings, quite frankly. Oh, there's Perel. He's up into third. Amazingly. Like I say, he's pretty much been absolutely everywhere. So he'll be obviously quite keen to get on with it. Oh, who's got fastest lap at the moment? That is still... we actually have the fastest lap. If my timing here is correct, we actually have the fastest lap shared by 2 drivers. That's Danny Giusa and Jens Kaiser with a 17.7. Both of them on to the 100th of a second with that time. So keep an eye on Jens to see if he's able to do anything. Here we go. Right, back to business again. See how this is going to go. About to go green. You can see that. Stay focused. I like that particular message. Yeah, everybody take note. And away we go. We are racing here again in Watkins Glen. Cody Pride this time leads them down towards turn 1 as we are looking at that's David Perel has made his way back up into third yet again. Screaming his way through. That's hits on the back of Carapati, and Giusa has managed to go up into third. That's hits now working his way past Carapati for 5th position coming up the hill. Obviously, no DRS available at the moment. That's Shell that is made his way past Carapati. So he's had a terrible run up the hill. Oh no, that's someone round. Who was that? That's Kaiser. Jens Kaiser, who's one of the ones that had shared the fastest lap I just mentioned. He's sideways, but is at least still running. So nothing to worry about there. Hits has gone past Perel. Oh, Perel's in trouble. David Perel, what's happened to him? Well, this is what happened to... this is Buxton. Oh, and that'll be what happened to Jens Kaiser, bouncing off of Jose Javier Buxton. But what has happened to Dave? Oh, my goodness me. Not again. Are we seeing... So Kungen is down at the bottom. Perel's in the pits. And as is Buxton. What on earth has happened here?
So I'm going to presume that it's contact between Kungen and Perel, and the two of them fight out. And again, same corner, into the wall, and comes back out. Oh my God, he's just absolutely, through no fault of his own, wiped out another car there. And yeah, that is surely going to be it with just 13 laps left to go, because there's no yellow flag here just now. So David Perel going to be towing himself back to pit lane just now. That's going to put him a couple of laps down because of the time it takes to tow the car back. But Cody Pride still in the lead of this race. Simon Demore in 2nd place. Paul Timmer with the appropriately timed no, Michael, no. Do you know what? That is just the meme that keeps on giving. It's like Toto has been, in the last 3 months of the season, has just gifted us as the children of the internet just so much content that we can use and enjoy in completely inappropriate moments in motorsport. So we're very, very grateful for that moment. But Simon Demore still trying to catch up onto the back of Cody Pride. I've got to be honest, Cody looking very, very comfortable with this just now.
Yeah, absolutely. He's on the medium tyres, so he should be doing well. Kungen is back on track as well, as we look at 30 more seconds for David Perel to be towed back to pit lane. So that's the 5th time he'll be visiting the pit lane in this race. As we know, that's not the biggest count we've had. Cody Pride actually set the fastest lap last time around with a 17.11. So he's using those softer tyres to the full advantage. But David Perel, as we said, will be getting back underway as quickly as he can. Hopefully, Buxton is also back out on track. So another two, those two return to us. At least they haven't given up. They haven't thrown in the towel. The only person we've lost it remains. Oh no. What?
No, I just saw that, and I thought the leaders are pretty much coming through the final couple of corners. I thought they were going to come out as David Perel was leaving the pits there, but no such drama there. Sorry about that, Greg.
Demore is doing a pretty good job of hanging on to the back of Cody Pride, considering that he's on the harder tyres. So Simon Demore is doing a pretty good job there of staying with the race leader. There is Danny Giusa right behind. So he's been in the lead, as we know, several times, with Benedict Hits, his counterpart, right behind. Gregor Schill, as I say, the pit lane frequenter, in 5th position. So he's doing pretty well. Set his personal best, 17.3 last time around. What are the lap times looking like this time? 17.7 for Pride, 17.8 for Demore, 18.1 for Giusa, 18 flat for Benedict Hits. 18.3 for Shell, 18.7 for Carapati, and so decent pace still out there. But Cody Pride is just beginning to eke out his advantage, now starting to push those tyres a little bit harder. But Demore doing a brilliant job staying right with him.
But remember as well, Chris, we saw those medium tyres struggling after about 10 laps, so they won't get too much more out of these tyres. They've already done about 3 or 4 laps on these brand new medium tyres, so Simon Demore here, for me, is in the strongest possible position as we come into these final 11 laps here of the race here at Watkins Glen for Coach Dave Academy. Got to say that David Perel has been, so often affected by other cars here. It's turned less of iRacing and more of Pit Stop Simulator 2021. But it is what it is, and that's the way the cookie crumbles sometime. But have a look at Danny Gusa. That gap now, there's those medium tyres starting to come to life. That gap coming down, and Gusa is hunting for the lead of this race.
Yeah, he's on the move, isn't he? Also bear in mind the cars are a bit lighter now, although quite a bit lighter than when they were at the beginning of the race. Yeah, 17.2. But Danny Gusa was a good half a second quicker than Demori last time around. Even quicker from Benedict Hitz behind him, although there's about 1.5 seconds between Hitz and Gusa right now. There we go. Look at that now. Demori's not going to have DRS. Gusa is. He's utilising that to the fullest extent. Boost sound. Bearing in mind his lap down was just set the fastest lap with a 17.088. Nicely done. Still pressing on. Why not? This race has been so unpredictable. It's worth a go. 11 laps to go here at Watkins Glen. I'm going to say no more safety cars. I'm looking at you, race control. Don't do it. But yeah, Gusa is flying.
Right, so now we've confirmed there's definitely going to be another safety car in 10 laps then. We just need to figure out when that's going to happen. That's the thing here. Gusa in that third position, now bringing Ben Hitz up to that battle as well. And we're now going to have a three-way battle for second place. This is David Carapetian down on 7th place. They're trying to catch up to Dan Mihalacci in the 6th place car there. The two of them struggling it out. Those medium tyres now starting to come to the forefront there. Philip Koongen, 1:16.98 down in 10th position. That's a lap and a half right there. And we have got all hell kicking off here. And the mediums are the tyre to be on right now. But come and ask me that again in five laps time, and I'm going to give you a very, very different answer here, Chris.
I'll glare at you if there's a safety car out. But never mind, we won't. Oh, and that's Gusa. That's Danny Gusa just straight. What's he doing? You can't do that. He'll be given a slowdown warning for that. He's just wow, and he's then blocking Cody Pride. What on earth? Tamori, beg your pardon. What is he doing?
Yeah, that's Demori, so he's got to slow down, but it doesn't mean he can't slow down.
Yeah, but Cody Pride is now running off into the distance, so he's just straight down the chicane, he's maintained the position.
But the thing is that so as far as the race sees it, he's just, all it's penalising him for is straight line in the chicane. So he has to slow down. He's given an automatic slowdown penalty by the game, and he's told to slow down and give up the time. But that doesn't say anything about slowing down in the direct path. Now, if this was a championship race, race control would be going mental at that. However, it's a fun race, so yeah, he's not gained that much time. The game's not considered him to have taken the position from that. But there we go. Hitz is ahead of Gusa and Mori there. So yeah, wow, absolute madness right now.
Hitz is now in second. Shell is now on the back of this particular train. What on earth? So that's where Hitz then got the advantage. So, oh my goodness me, this is getting absolutely bonkers. So Demori did actually get ahead of Gusa, but has lost that position since. Now Gregor Schill. Now Schill's involved. There's Carapatian having an argument with Mihalacci coming out of the outer loop. Good grief, we can barely keep up now.
This is just bonkers, absolutely bonkers stuff. And Mihalacci has been sent back with to Carapetian. Then he was up there as well, and the two of them now being side by side. So this battle just so intense right now with just 8 laps left to go. Nuts, absolutely nuts. Cody Pride has to watch out though, because I think that gap's going to come down with him and Benedict Hitz. 3.5 seconds just now. Whether or not it comes down by enough, 1:18.45 for Cody Pride, 1:18.35 for Benedict Hitz. I think this is going to be the time now where the medium tyres start to lose that mass pace that they had, and the hards are going to start to eke out that advantage.
We will see with only 7 laps to go. 8 laps to go, beg your pardon. We've just seen Cody Pride disappear out of the shot, so Hitz and Gusa working well together. Demori, irrespective of Gusa's unusual tactics, is falling off the back of a Giusa anyway, although, as you say, David, that may well turn around if the medium tyres are going to fall away. There's Jens Kaiser, who's had his own fair share of issues tonight, who's on the back of James Horn, who's got a few positions ahead of where we last saw him. There in the background is, that's not, no, bigger one. I was going to say that's Kunga, but I don't think it is. That is in the background of the shot. No, that will be Busan. That's Jose Javier Busan that we've just seen in the background of the shot there. So he's got a lap down and is minding his own business. So Kaiser is having a crack. I wondered if he was going to have a crack at James Horn there coming into the heel, but wasn't really close enough to do it. But he's still having a great fight there for what is 8th position. Yeah, I don't think, unless Cody Pride makes a mistake somewhere, it's another 2/10 game by Benedict Hitz. Not going to be enough, but I don't reckon that top 3 is decided just yet. I reckon we've got another sting in the tail.
You could very well be right, but we've got 6 laps left to go here. Cody Pride out by 3.4 seconds. That gap coming down by about 0.2 of a second per lap. So again, based on that, it's not enough. But Ben Hitz is going to get the smell of the car in front. He's going to sense blood from Cody Pride and try and do anything that he can to pull that gap down. Jens Kaiser has DRS, and so is that car behind him. And that is a car that is a lap down. I think that is actually David Perel that is behind him just now, because that is James Horn that is just in front. So we'll keep our eye on that one. But Giusa still 0.7 of a second behind Benedict Hitz there in that battle for second place. Simon Demore, you're absolutely right, is falling off. So regardless if that hard tyre does come back to life or does have less of a degradation than the mediums, it's not going to matter, because he's so far back now that Giusa and Hitz can just romp off into the sunset. But 5 laps left to go, and Hitz bringing that gap down to about 3 seconds.
Yeah, another 0.2 of a second to Benedict Hitz's advantage there. This is what happened with Gregor Schill. What have you done? You've gone a bit exploring on the outside of the heel, but does manage to keep it out of the wall and keep his car intact. There's Dan Mihalachi that's got a warring pack behind him. Oh, here is Benedict Hitz and Danny Giusa again. Are they going to start arguing amongst themselves? Well, they may do. Team Orders has worked, is probably going to go against them. That's Kaiser going on the outside of James Horn. DRS open on Jens's car and up into 8th position, throwing him to very much, I think you're right, I think that's actually David Perel's car, not Busan's, I originally thought. So David Perel is, involved in the race. Why not? There's no point in not overtaking with only a few laps remaining of this race. This one-off event for Coach Dave Academy here at Watkins Glen, using these wonderful, although tricky F1 cars. No!
Yellow flag!
Not
Who
again.
got safety car? Who?
What has happened?
A competition caution.
A competition caution. I was just looking at the timings thinking, hang on, no one is falling through the field. Oh, Struth alive. So it's going to be a final 5 laps. Is everyone going to follow your call, David, and come into the pits for softs?
We'll see. But Latifi strikes again. Excuse me. I'm going to have to keep my comms to like an absolute minimum for the next 2 minutes, because I do have the hiccups. So I'll try not to embarrass myself, but I think it might be a bit too late. There you go, right on cue.
Right on cue. Yeah, nicely done. Well, I'll happily do the lion's share of the shouting. Well, that does mean that Kungen, Busan and Perel are allowed to unlap themselves. We know this process by now, and there we go. That's not a slow-mo. That is how slow the safety car is going. And our lap runners, and one of them is trying, that's Busan, I think, trying to get, that's Perel and Busan actually just trying to get through the field and not hit anyone. So now, there we go. So all of our lap runners are now on the lead lap. They're going to work their way around to the tail end of the field. And then we're going to have probably 4 laps, 3 or 4 laps at least, of racing to go. No one has pitted yet. Will they do so at the end of this lap? It's tempting, isn't it? It's tempting to give those soft tyres a go.
I think they have to, though. I think now, with 4 laps to go, come on, get in, get softs on, and let the carnage begin.
It's a good shout, isn't it? We'll see if anybody goes for it. But certainly still, I mean, Cody Pride will not want to be giving up track position. What have we got here? So there's David Perel. Oh dear! Bouncing off of... oh, no, that was the earlier incident that saw the big crash with Jose Javier Busam. So that was Perel bouncing off of what I believe was Benedict Hitz. It was either Hitz or Giusa. I think it was Hitz at the time. In comes Gregor Schill again. Oh no, that's a replay. I beg your pardon. So that was. Oh, that's the front wing.
So he did get his wing replaced then.
Yeah, so he has had his front wing. We haven't had a chance to look. So there's a replay of Jens Javier. What's he done? That's where he headbutted the wall. So yeah, that was Simon Demori doing a brilliant dodge there. So yeah, that was when Jens Javier needed to visit the pit lane. Here's Carapatien. That was when he was crawling along. All of which has now been undone. Oh no, that's where he stopped, wasn't it? That was where the way through didn't work. Here's Carapatien again. Oh yeah, that was early on in the race when that was when Busan, I believe, was sent into the wall and Carapatien had his own sympathy spin. Another incident. David Perel. Oh yeah, that's where he nearly banzaied into the back of the field on the first safety car, I believe that was. That seems so long ago. There we go. So that's James Horn's car that he then had to line up behind. That's great. Well, what's Gregor Schill done here? This is a replay. This is behind one of the safety cars. Oh no. Oh, I was just wondering whether he hit the back of that would be Kungen's car. No. What's he done? Well, maybe he had an incident there. We're not entirely certain. Jens Kaiser again. So we're going through these replays, just waiting for the field to find themselves again. Oh, has he had another? We had another incident turn one. No, just Jens.
So what will happen is that any instant where a car goes off track, it adds it to the highlight reel, and this is definitely a highlight as Gregor Schill into the back.
Gotcha. That's why we're seeing those. There's Jens Kaiser again. He's got a fair amount of airtime. Wow, he was sent almost airborne on that one, being barged off by one of the Mercedes safety cars, and then coming straight into the pit straight after that. That's Cody Pride. Oh, they're all in the pits. They're all, well, I say all of them. Pride, Hit, Giusa, and Demori have not pitted. So Pride, Hit, Giusa, and Demori did not pit. Everyone else has pitted, and that's when we lost Alaric Enslin. Again, that seems like almost like a different day. That happened so long ago, but that was early on in the race. Now we'll see when the tower returns to us. Did everybody go under soft? Now that was the start. Look at James Horn, was really bogged down there. Goodness me! As look at Carapatien, there's someone on the grass. This will be Carapatien probably being barged off at turn one, side by side, coming into the hill. White. Interesting. And then you've got the usual chaos heading down towards the inner loop. Oh, how did this come out? Well, we saw it didn't go well for some people. There we go. So he had to really bow out of that on his race start. I think, bearing in mind, these are still replays we're looking at. Here's a replay of Carapatien again. One of the first restarts we had. Oh, wow. Someone just diving for the pit lane very early on. Yeah, Benedict Hitz. On that. So this is when Hitz and Giusa were leading the race. There's Kungen right behind. Now I'm assuming these two are going to go side by side here, heading into the inner loop. No, there's Benedict Hitz rather behaving himself, but he led his teammate. So this is one of the, couldn't tell you which safety car this was. We have had quite a few of them. Again, is Benedict Hitz down at around about 6th position by this point. So that's probably the previous one. That is that message isn't in the replay. That's live. There we go. And look at that. Everybody that came in has done exactly what David suggested. Soft tyres. Except the only ones that aren't on soft tyres are the ones that didn't come in. Again, reminder: Pride, Hitz, Giusa, and Demori did not come in. So we're going to have 3 laps. Oh, this is going to be bonkers.
Simon Demore is about to get straight up murdered from the
he's
7
gonna
cars
be
behind him. He is just, he might as well reserve his place at the wooden spoon right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my goodness me. Well, you can't say that no one listens to you, Mr. Christie.
Just hearing in YouTube chat as well that this is Cody's first F1 race, so what a performance if that is the case.
Blimey. Yeah, I mean, he's currently got, he's not quite got the fastest lap. It's the second fastest lap. It's Buxton that has fastest in the moment. My goodness me. Gregor Schill, 4th position after 8 pit stops. That's a... My goodness me. Yeah, it's a shame that the safety car is as slow as it is, but like I say, there's nothing any of us can do about that. But we are going to be going again for 3 absolutely bonkers laps.
And it really is going to be absolutely bonkers, that's for sure. Well, what do we think? 3 laps, soft tyres. I do think with the soft tyre drivers is going to win the race, possibly Jens Kaiser. Whether or not they can get past Cody Pride, is going to be another matter. And Chris, I'm going to have to let you take these final laps.
With pleasure, Mr. Christie. Right. We've seen this process quite a few times. Oh, my goodness me. For Cody Pride's first go in these cars, and he's going to be under all kinds of pressure. But yeah, I think Demore is going to be really, really struggling. Gregor Schill's at the back of the field. Don't know what he's up to. In comes the safety car, 3 wide, right behind the leader. Cody Pride has nailed it. And Demore trying to negate his tyre disadvantage. And here comes Giusa trying to either make a move on hits or defend from Demore. Not entirely certain, but away we go. The soft runners have not had a chance to get their tyres properly bedded in. So there's a huge gap forming behind. Oh, that's actually Carapatian that the field's all behind. There's Gregor Schill just nailing James Horn up and over the hill. There in the picture-in-picture is Simon Demore that has got Carapatian for very, very close company, who leads soft runner now. We'll keep an eye on him, see what he's able to do, as Gregor Schill is now looking to try and deal with David Perel. Pressing on. Oh, no! That's Mielachi! Mielachi's been in the wall. Not another one. No more safety cars. Well, I think the safety car has run out of fuel. Good stuff. It can stay there.
Somebody's nicked the keys. That's what's happened.
Yeah, they finally said enough's enough. So Mielachi, sadly, will not see the checkered flag. We don't know quite what happened to him, but Pride doing a good job. Oh, and that's what happened to Mielachi. Way too deep. Coming through the left-hander and nails the wall pretty hard. There is Carapatian. There is Giusa. There is Hits. Actually, loser. Whoa, that's Giusa! That's Danny Giusa's gone round. That's the end of his race. Just one blink of an eye. Yeah, he's not interested in slowing down, but that's another one gone by the wayside. I think your earlier prediction of not having many cars left by the end is turning true as Hits tries an outside maneuver on Cody Pride. Cody trying to defend it. Brilliantly driven by both of them not to come to grief. But Benedict Hits now leads the way. Now looking further back, there's Gregor Schill now up in 9th position. As Carapatian and Demore are side by side having an argument as there goes Schill and Perel. Oh no, Perel is into the wall. Another one fallen, but we will have someone to stand on the podium, I hope. So that's the view from Perel. His wheels now facing the wrong way. He's shaking his head. I'm not entirely surprised. Good grief, we're literally going to have no one left. By the time we get Carapatian is now in the back of the field. He's had his own issue. Pride and Hits. Pride is now back ahead of it. I can't say the words fast enough. Cody Pride back ahead of Brendan Hits. Kungen's now back up in the 3rd. Good. Demore's gone. Good God. So we only have 8 cars left. Final lap of the race. For God's sake, someone bring this home. Cody Pride leads. Benedict Hits. Oh my God, that's who is that? That's having an argument. That is Gregor Schill. That's having a beg your pardon. That was Kaiser having an argument against Buxton. Buxton's now up at the 3rd after all this. Bear in mind, he was a lap down not that long ago. Here comes Hits again on Cody Pride, right behind them. Buxton and Kaiser. Hits doesn't care what line he takes anymore. He's doing a bit of lawnmower. He's got to slow down.
Oh, that's cheeky.
Here comes Buxton to get involved in the argument. Oh my God!
Contact! They've come! All three!
Oh, you're joking me! 5 cars still remaining. Carapatian's actually leaving. On circuit. And Busan. I don't believe this. Gregor Schill with 8 pit stops and God knows how many. I don't know how many times he's gone through. Is now arguing for the race lead. James Horn is nearly there. Cody Pride.
Oh, he's gone! Shill's gone!
More cars going. Cody Pride's not even moving. So your winner
is going to get third place.
Is Jose
Cody Pride's out. James Schill takes the final position. Is he going to get finished? Carapetian might actually get this. Wait, so he stopped. Carapetian is still going. Carapetian is going to get the final place on the podium.
Unreal. Busan wins. James Horn, who hasn't seen the top of the field all night long, is finished in second. Gregor Schill can barely get over a 1 degree.
I tell you what, see that fancy famous YouTuber Wreckfest race that was going on? That's got nothing on this tonight. You can take your Carapetian goes past.
And stopped. Why is he stopped? What?
He's waiting. Is he going to try and nudge him across the line?
He's going to try and push Gregor Schill. Oh my God!
What lad? What an absolute lad! Didn't they say sportsmanship is dead? Carapetian, that's exactly what he's doing. He's going to try and cool running style, going to try and nudge him across the line. Oh, Chris, this is sportsmanship.
Is there an incident limit to this? Because he can't do it. He can't push the car. He can't do it. He's trying, but he can't do it.
Lewis is asking, watch this, and then he loses one of his wheels or something. Lewis is asking, is this Cars 1? I am Speed, so Carapetian decides, right, I gave it a go. I'm going to go and take that third place there. Could you imagine if he stacked it on that last corner?
I've seen someone disqualified for doing exactly that. They hit the incident limit, and they actually got disqualified from the race for doing exactly that.
Oh my God, that is the best last lap. Could you imagine if the real F1 did that on the last lap?
Wow.
Oh man.
That's unreal. So your winner in this amazing coaster.
Wait, was I right? Was that a soft? Was that a car on soft?
I can't even remember now, but yeah, I think it was. Jose Javier Busan takes the win from James Horn, David Carapatian. No one else saw the flag. Oh my goodness me.
Oh my God, 3 drivers. Pedro Marquez asking how many drivers actually finished. 3 drivers. 3 drivers finished that last lap. That's all of them started that last lap, but 3.
Absolutely amazing.
I've never actually had a race, Chris, when I've finished it and ended in tears. On the plus side, my hiccups have stopped, so... Oh, do you know what? We've needed this for so long because, just a fun event where everybody's having a laugh, and what better way to wrap up things?
No argument from me on that one.
Hiccups almost killed me there. What better way to wrap up the events here for Christmas and going out with an absolute laugh? I mean, you know what? I'm actually thinking we need to do something like this more often. We need to do these fun, just crazy races where, it's done for laughs and giggles, and
Oh my goodness.
I still think, Chris, right, we need to do an event where every time there's a safety car, we do a shot.
Oh,
yes, get skittle bombs on the go. All the drivers have to take a shot, and that would just be absolute madness.
Yeah. Moving on. But what? Oh my goodness me! I've got no words. I've been grinning for so long. My cheek muscles are hurting.
I've got to say, it's been a while since I've actually laughed at an iRacing race. Normally, it's the control, the steering wheel gets thrown out the window after I'm punted by about 15 guys. But watching it, my God, that was hilarious.
Oh, man. David Perez is watching some footage back. Oh, yeah, right there with you. I cannot remember the last time I laughed that heavily at an event I've commentated on. That's absolutely brilliant. What a way to see out 2021.
And I think we were away to look into a replay then of the last lap here. Here's Gregor Schill then. This is what happens with him, because David's away to find a nice little angle for us. This is like having a second broadcast director right here. So Gregor Schill, this is coming through the S's then, up through the inner loop, through the outer loop, and then down in towards the toe. He gets a good run up, tries to cut to the inside there. Oh, he gets smacked by another car. That's what's happened to Gregor Schill. There's contact there. Oh, that was Perel. That's why he's looking at it, because that's where Gregor Schill took out our very own Coach Dave Academy's Dave Perel. So Gregor Schill confirmed, ladies and gentlemen, officially off the Christmas card list from David Perel there.
I dare say.
Oh, look at this. Look at the state of that car. That is... Total wheels banging a set of Sennheisers like this one.
Yeah, I mean, there's something to be said for determination. He was trying his hardest to get that one home, but on a 1 degree incline, the car just couldn't do it.
Oh my God! Like I said, I've never laughed so hard at a final race, a final lap of the race as well. Everybody was just like, right, well, if I'm not getting this position, then nobody gets this position.
No one is. Yeah.
I mean, look at that! Thank God for the halo.
Goodness.
We would have had a driver.
Oh my goodness! I would have. Look at Max Verstappen's face.
I know, that's exactly what Cody Pride was doing, wasn't it?
Exactly. Yeah. There's a few people doing exactly that, I dare say.
Well, good to see those mediums really held up well towards the end there. David Carapetian coming out the pit lane to finish third place. What is that about? I'm looking at the live timing here, and just to emphasise that, you know, there's only 3 cars with a finish flag across them.
Yeah. Oh my goodness me! What a crazy night it has been.
Well, there we go then. That is all she wrote here from Watkins Glen. I think it's going to be a little while before we're back here. I don't think the organising committee at Watkins Glen are going to be too happy to let us back anytime soon, considering the Armco repairs and the clean-up that they're going to have to do here. But Chris, what a night we've had.
What a night indeed. And like you say, a great way to see out 2021. It's been a year of mixed fortunes for a lot of people, but at least we've provided some entertainment, or certainly our drivers have provided a lot of entertainment. We hope you lovely people watching along either live or post-event have enjoyed it as much as we have.
Yeah, absolutely. So just a reminder, a huge thank you on behalf of everyone from Coach Dave Academy. Head over to Coach Dave Academy to get all of the professionally made car setups for a wide variety of different games. Now, of course, including the brand new setups for iRacing that have just been updated for 2022, the brand new season. Week 1 is out there as well. Head over there, check them out. Huge thank you, Chris, to yourself for joining me here in the virtual commentary box. Huge thank you as well to Michael Hamlet and to Mike Yao behind the scenes in the broadcast production team. Huge thank you to all of you guys out there watching at home. To everyone listening to this, have a wonderful, wonderful Christmas and New Year. We will see you in 2022 for more incredible content here on the SimGrid, as well as thanks to Coach Dave Academy. But from everyone here, take care, and we'll see you next year.